All right, we're going to kick on the YouTube feed right now. Here we go. Yes. Hey, everybody on YouTube. Guess what? I'm Dave. I've been here before. Have you? Yes, I am hanging on out, ready for another fantastic show on Spaced Out Radio tonight, and it is going to be a blast. My good friend, the beautiful and talented Karen Anderson, is with us tonight. I haven't had her on the show in like 3 years. How stupid is that? Bad host. Bad host. But I tell you, she is brilliant when it comes to animal communication. And if you haven't heard her speak before, you are in for a wonderful, wonderful treat tonight, because the knowledge that she has when it comes to talking about the dead, the afterlife, pets, pet communication, both on this side and on the other side, is second to none. Look, we try and bring you the best every time. I think Karen is one of the best, if not the best, when it comes to this field. I really do. And I can already feel, as she listens to me saying this, that she is blushing. Blushing, I tell you. Yes. Karen, hi.
I can't even talk right now. Oh, my gosh. Thank you for that intro. Oh, my goodness. I know. It's really warm in
Super Dave, Super Dave, Super Dave. Oh, he's so wonderful.
I like this show. I do. I think you're one of the most fantastic ever in the radio waves ever.
It's true.
Ever.
It's true. I will take that. I will take that. I don't have confidence in much, but my voice for radio, I have a confidence in that. All right. I just want to give a quick shout out to the people who are in our chat room so far. Renee in New Zealand. Hello. How's your wolf, Renee? What level are you at? Come on, hurry up. We got to play together. Vins, how are you? Waylon in Bama. Millennium, thanks for coming on in. Hey, Nuck, good to see you here. Spookles the cat, Shanna Banana, Tammy, Brett, always a good pleasure to have all of you here. Who am I missing? Moonstone, I'm missing you. Hello, Moonstone. Adnome, the gnome man. Hey, right there, buddy. Right there. That's dedicated to you in the studio here. By the way, I'll be off on Sunday if you want to play some guitar and teach me some more. And yeah, my listener Adnome is teaching me how to play guitar when we can hook up. Hey, Chad, how you doing? So, middle child is here. I'm the baby of my family. Hey, Asteroid, good to have you here as well. We're about 2.5, 3 minutes away. Treehouse Cannabis, I hope you're lighting up the hippie lettuce for this one tonight, my friend. Yes, Satan's lettuce is in your house. Bigfoot, Michigan Rob, thanks for coming on in. See, they're just jamming in there for you, Karen. They're jamming on in there for you.
Yay!
Mm-hmm. Hey, Dirty Filth, Fapster, where have you been hiding? How's Grandma Rose? Grandma Rose is Fapster's grandmother, and she's 97 years old and listens to this show.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes.
Well.
Yes.
We have to shout out for that.
Absolutely.
That's a shout out right
we
there.
Love Grandma Rose around here. Fap is going to, when we have our Vegas party next year, Fap's going to bring her to come party with us. We're going to go party in the hot tub with Grandma Rose.
Right on.
Absolutely. Hey, we want to give a shout out to Stu. Human Carl is here, everyone. Do not think that is Carl the alien. It is Human Carl. Spelled the same, different entity altogether. We love our Human Carl around here. Hello, beautiful Julie. How are you? Thank you so much for coming on in. Autopilot. Geez, all these newbies. Chris Mo, he's in here now. Oh, man. I always love to give our audience a shout out for coming in early. It just makes me feel good. I get all excited.
Look at them all. Oh, my gosh.
I know.
I'm like seeing all these names roll up. Wow.
I know. The chat room goes nuts during our show. It really does, and it's fantastic. And somehow I've figured out almost how to keep up.
Well, I'm getting dizzy. Look at them all.
I know.
You know what? I'm just going to sit here and look at everybody.
Yeah, you go.
Renee
Karen's in there.
Moonstone and Mr. Man and Spook Cat. Look at that Spook Cat.
I know.
Oh
Spookles the cat is awesome. She's my new media person. And we got Oob to Joe Monk. He's got aliens at his house. He's got Bigfoot and he's got aliens there.
I have a friend who does EVPs in his house, and they tell him he's boring.
Well, that's definitely not Joe. Joe is not boring. He's got amazing hair. And you know what with Joe? I actually have one of his beards that he shaved off in the studio here. He shaved off he had this amazing beard and he mailed it to me. And I'm proud of that beard.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey, BGs, how you doing? We're about 20 seconds away here from launching. Cherie Ariano, tomorrow night, everybody, on Ascension Sessions on YouTube. She's got a big feature on me, myself, and I, all rolled into one. I think you will like it. So make sure you check it on out on Ascension Sessions. She told me that she would cover up my face so that way it wasn't scary for her audience. Hi, Cheyenne. How are you? All the way in Pennsylvania. I love your state. I've been there a few times. I've fallen in love with it. Music is on, Karen. So in a couple seconds, I am going to start reading the intro, like almost right now. Super Chat is open in YouTube. And support our show by giving us a thumbs up and visiting our website and doing a little shopping at the SOR Vault. Here we go. From the mountains of central British Columbia to you listening around the world, this, my friends, is Spaced Out Radio. I am your host, Dave Scott, sitting in the captain's chair of SOR headquarters. We welcome you to tonight's show across North America with our terrestrial affiliates and digitally on TalkStream Live and Revolution Radio. If you want to take a listen to our archives, they are free for you at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Just do me the favor, hit that subscribe button. You can follow us on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio for the show. My personal handle at Dave Scott SOR. Our website is spacedoutradio.com, where we have a plethora of features for you, including rocking out to Bumblefoot and reading up on Captain Shirk's SOR Newswire. Tonight's show is brought to you by Chive Charities. Help make the world 10% happier by visiting Chive Charities today. You can find them on our website. We're getting into a little bit of woo tonight. Animal communication. Can we communicate with our pets, both the ones that are living and the ones that are dead? Now, I'm not sure if we can actually get into house cats because, you know, much like Dogman, they're just upset that right now it's Thursday night, 9:07 p.m., at least in my time zone. And I got to tell you, I don't know if we can communicate, but there is something special about animals that we're going to find out. And who's going to tell us? How about the CEO of Animal Communication Planet, Karen Anderson, who is an award-winning Afterlife Expert and Animal Communicator. She's been featured on ABC, CBS, and NBC, Fox. She has 2 books written, including the #1 bestselling and the national and international award-winning The Amazing Afterlife of Animals, Messages and Signs from Our Pets on the Other Side, as well as the best-selling Hear All Creatures, The Journey of an Animal Communicator. Karen, who has a lovely talent for this, has also collaborated with Dr. Patricia Carrington, PhD, for her book, The Secret Inner Life of Pets, and is a co-author of Amazing Paranormal Encounters Volume 2. Then at the bottom of hour number 3, I will bring you the SOR Newswire, brought to you by Paranoia Magazine. Karen Anderson, I got to tell you, I feel so guilty that it's been about 3 years since we had you on this show. Bad host. Very bad host. I'm slapping my hand. There, you can hear it. For actually doing that. But I'm so glad that you are back, and thank you so much for gracing us with your time.
Well, I am really shocked that it has been that long. I'm kind of thinking it was like maybe just a year or so, but really, you're sure it's been like 3?
I know. It shocked me. I went back in the records. Checked this out, and I couldn't believe it. I'm like, oh, bad host. But that's okay. That's okay. Yeah. How you been doing?
I've been doing great. I am so excited to be here tonight because I am a huge paranormal junkie, and I love all stuff that is kind of woo and out there and paranormal, and oh my gosh, this is like so my thing right now. So excited to be here.
I got to ask you, do Do you consider what you do woo?
No, because it's my everyday life, but I know a lot of people consider it out there. But see, I'm so grounded from all this. I'm an ex-cop. I mean, come on, how grounded can an ex-cop be if they're a woo ex-cop? You're either grounded or you're not, and I'm really there. So no, I don't think what I do is woo, but a lot of people do, and that's cool. If you know, that some people have never even heard of this before. I know it's the first that some people don't even know that animals can communicate, but yes, they can. And I'm here to share with you and all of your listeners all the crazy stuff they tell me. And you're going to be shocked and amazed and blown away like I am, because it constantly, I can't believe some of the things they come up with. Amazing stuff.
You know what? I got to say, as someone who has had a lot of weird and strange happen to them, I have yet to get a message from my animals. And we're going to learn about that tonight, how we can possibly do that. But when did you start noticing that you had the sixth sense?
Well, if we don't go back to childhood, I'll just go back to when I became a police officer, because I could understand animals and I could see spirits when I was a little kid, but I thought that was normal. So I just kind of rolled with it, and then it kind of got pushed aside. So fast forward, I'm now a deputy sheriff. I am on patrol. I'm up in a mountain district up in Bailey, Colorado, up in the Rocky Mountains, southwest of Denver. I am all by myself working on a department for Park County. I was the only female deputy on the department, and they decided that they were going to test me and see what I was made out of straight out of the academy. So they stuck me on the graveyard shift by myself, and I alone had to go and respond to every single call that came through. So you see, it was out of necessity that I had to start paying attention to things like body language. When I was talking to a suspect, I would look at what their eyes were doing. I would pay attention to where they were looking, how they were standing, just everything about them. I started reading energy of the people that I was on a scene with, because I was trying to make sure I got home safe that night. And that's when it all started to snowball for me. So it was really out of necessity for my own personal safety. That's when it all came up to the surface, and weird things started happening at that time.
Now, what weird things started happening? Because, a lot of police officers, current and former, really don't want to get into this subject. So what changed? What happened?
Well, for instance, one of the most memorable moments is we were in pursuit of an armed felon who had wrecked his vehicle and took off on foot in a dark field in the middle of nowhere, pitch black. There's no street lights out there. And my sergeant stuck me on perimeter. I always got stuck on perimeter. So I was on perimeters, meaning you stay here, make sure nobody comes or goes out of this huge field. So I was there by myself, and they took off where they thought the bad guy went. So I stayed in this one area, and I was just listening to them on my pack set, and they couldn't find him. They were looking everywhere, couldn't find him. And I was thinking to myself, holy, what am I going to do if I find this guy? I wonder where he is. Where could he be hiding? I'm just having these thoughts in my mind. I'm sitting there by myself, but I'm having these thoughts in my mind. Well, a small herd of deer came by, like 3 or 4 deer came walking by. They knew I was there, but I wasn't a threat. And as I was thinking this, where is this guy hiding? One of the deer popped its head up, looked right at me, and I heard the words, "Look by the logs over by the trees, by the logs, because I was out in the mountains up in Bailey. And it was in my voice, in my head, but it wasn't my thought. I wasn't thinking he's behind the logs. I was thinking, what the hell am I going to do if I really find this guy? That's what I was thinking. So I went with it, and I looked over to my right where the deer were looking. All the police activity was to the left. I looked to the right, and I snuck around, pulled my weapon, and ordered the suspect to come out with his hands up. And guess what? 2 hands came popping up from behind these balls. Yeah. So that's where I had one of those, what just happened moments. I mean, it freaked me out. I will admit, I was the first one that went, this is bizarre. This is really crazy. But the backstory is I had been practicing communicating with my own pets at home. So there's the backstory there. So I was trying to sharpen those skills, but I certainly wasn't practicing with a deer, and I certainly wasn't practicing at that moment when I could be in potential danger. So you see, it was when I least expected it that things started to happen. When I actually sat down and tried to do it, I couldn't get anything. But when I had this moment of like heightened awareness, because think of it, I'm by myself in a field with an armed felon on the loose. This is scary stuff. And that's when the message came through. I was in a heightened state of awareness.
That is incredible. I mean, your blood pressure must have been just explosive at that point.
Oh man, let me tell you, I was shaking in my boots. I don't know how I got the guy in cuffs, but I got him in cuffs. It just really, it was bizarre. So the funny part was, of course, I get on the radio and I tell everybody, hey, I got him at gunpoint. So, of course, everyone came, roaring over with lights and sirens. And the guys come around. They're all slapping me on the back, high fives, hey, Anderson, great job. How'd you know where he was?
Yeah. Tell me you told him, oh, the deer spoke to me. I want to know this. Tell me you did this.
I did not tell them that. I kept that to myself. I was already ostracized as being the only female on the department. I wasn't going to go saying, oh, well, little Bambi over there told me.
Oh my gosh. No. I would have seen those reactions. I would have loved to have seen those if you had said that. I got to ask you before we continue on down that road, when you were a police officer, did you have any, and this is a strange story that happened, but did you have any department protocols for strange or weird events, like say someone called in a UFO or somebody was complaining because they thought there was somebody in their house and they lived in a haunted house or something like that?
Oh my gosh. We don't have enough time in your show tonight. Do you guys know, in chat, the show on, I think it's the Comedy Channel or something. It's called South Park. You guys know South Park? It's the little cartoons, we do. Cartman and Kenny. Okay. I worked in Park County. South Park was just the southern part of my district.
Oh my goodness.
That is UFO Central out there. There's actually, when I would arrest people and take them to jail, on the way into the jail, there was a little sign off to the right-hand side that said, "Welcome to South Park," and it had all the little cartoon characters on the sign.
Really? That's awesome. So if there was a lot of UFOs happening there when you were working there, what would happen? What kind of reports would come in that you could share with us?
Well, I think some of the craziest stuff, I did not get any Bigfoot sightings. I've seen in chat a lot of Bigfoot, but I personally, when I was on duty, didn't get any of those calls. We were surrounded by national forests. I've come to find out since I've been out of law enforcement that that is a really popular area for sightings, but in the time that I was there, I didn't experience that. But what I did experience, I'm even getting like twitchy just talking about it. I was coming back from a call. I was way over by Breckenridge, and I was coming back from a call with a fellow officer. We were in his patrol car, and as you drive through Fairplay in South Park, it's like a high meadow. There's nothing. You're surrounded kind of like a bowl of very high mountains, really big flat area you can see forever, and it's pitch black, middle of summer. And we're driving along, and we literally, the two of us, saw these two, they look like meteors, but they weren't meteors. They were UFO-y things in front of us on the horizon, come together and literally explode together and then vanish. And within, I don't know, maybe 5 seconds, maybe 10 seconds, there was something hovering above our patrol car. We were clocked at 112 miles per hour because in the Jeep Cherokee that we were in, it limited out at 113. So we were going 112. Something was hovering over our patrol car, and suddenly, Dave, everything died. The engine died, the lights died, everything died, power steering, everything died. And thank God I was in the passenger seat and not driving. My partner was able to get control of the vehicle in the total pitch blackness and keep us on the road and keep us safe until he could bring it to a stop. And you could tell that there was something over us, pacing us up above. There was like this weird bluish glow over us that we were being paced. And didn't get out of the car. I was too scared. Didn't see anything after that, but it was one of the weirdest personal experiences I had out in South Park. But I went to and I witnessed numerous cattle mutilations while I was out there. Lots of those going on.
Okay.
Totally weird.
Okay, I gotta ask this: as an animal communicator, were you ever able to communicate with those mutilated cattle to see what happened to them?
No, I wasn't doing that work at the time. I was just really learning. I was relearning. I was reawakening to it. So I wasn't that good yet. I'm there now, but I wasn't at that time. I was still in cop mode. I was still in left brain thinking, but no, I wasn't at the time. And I've been asked to, have I ever communicated with Bigfoot? And my answer to that is show me a good, clear picture of a Bigfoot, because I work off of a photo. You show me a good, clear picture of a Bigfoot, and I will certainly try, but every picture I've ever seen is like a blurry blob. So I saw a lot of crazy stuff with those cattle mutilations, and these cows were big. They had these surgical cuts made on them. Their eyes would be gone. Their other body parts would be gone. There's no blood anywhere around the animal, and they would be like miles from where they were supposed to be, and there were no tracks or anything around them. It was like they were just, dumped miles from where they should have been. Weird stuff. When you see it for yourself, when you walk up on a scene and you see it for yourself, it's crazy.
I couldn't imagine. Now, when something like that happened and it was reported or you came across this, was it just swept under the rug? Like, hey, let's take the report, let's file it in a deep, dark place in the boss's office where we never look at it again?
Yeah, this was absolutely a sweep under the rug thing. It was keep it quiet. It was kind of a podunk little town. It was so poor, I had to buy my own equipment. I had to buy my own weapon. I had to buy my own backup weapon. The only thing that the department gave me was a uniform shirt and 2 pairs of yucky polyester man pants. Everything else I had to buy while I was on the department. They were so poor. So it was a very small department, very podunk kind of town. And yeah, nobody really we scratched our heads about it in the substation about, what we saw and how weird it was. But then after that, nobody really talked about it.
Well, not even Mr. Garrison. Oh, I'm going to be honest with you. I had no idea there was an actual South Park. I had no idea.
There is.
I have to go now. I have to go now.
Yes. Well, on South Park, they make fun of all the UFOs and everything there. And I'm telling you, it's really UFO central. That is a crazy area out there. And I took several reports of weird things happening. People saw things and lights and different anomalies like that going on. This was back before cell phones were in everybody's hands. I mean, I'm talking late 90s, guys. I'm going to age myself here. Late 90s. So we didn't have cell phones in every hand. We certainly didn't have the good internet that we have now and Wi-Fi and connectivity and all that. So there was not a lot of good evidence back then. We were still, kind of in the flip phone days.
I got you. We got about 3 minutes to go before we got to go to break at the bottom of the hour. Karen Anderson is our guest tonight. I want to ask you again about the cattle mutilations that you witnessed. How many of them were you on scene for?
I saw about 4 different ones from various different areas, but they all had a lot of the same similar body parts taken. It was weird. It was like, why would they take eyeballs? Why would they take the tongue completely out? Lips. It's like, what are they doing? It's not an animal attack. If you've seen an animal that has been attacked out in the wild, it doesn't look like that. These are surgical cuts.
Interesting. Were the bowels removed as well? Because that always seems to be a big part. The aliens seem to like
reproductive.
Yeah, the aliens seem to like that stuff.
Reproductive organs, most definitely. Yep.
Mm-hmm. I don't know how I would react to that. I keep thinking, because up here there is free range cattle everywhere. And now that we're getting into forest fire time, I mean, one of the best ways to clear out those hazards is to put grazing cattle out in the forest, because they eat up a lot of that dead foliage. And it's strange, because I know one of these days we are just going to absolutely come across something like this. I can feel it. I know it's going to happen.
Yeah. Yep. It probably will. It's the high alpine meadow of South Park is just notorious for all kinds of crazy things happening out there. And you're up in the middle of nowhere. There's no other lights, really. I mean, the towns are really small, so it's not like you're getting, there's no big airports or anything where there would be strange lights in the sky. I mean, there's nothing that makes sense. So, and I got a report one time. I was supposed to investigate a low-flying craft. That's hard to say. Low-flying craft. And, of course, by the time I got there, I didn't see anything. There was nothing there. It was the middle of the day, and I saw nothing. But we would get reports from time to time that we would have to go out there and investigate and do the best that we could. But yeah, it was challenging, to say the least.
I bet.
To come across.
I bet. Karen, I'm going to get you to hold on right there, because we are going to go to break here at the bottom of the hour. Animal communication. We're going to learn about it next with Karen Anderson, best-selling author, Animal Intuitive. We're going to find out why your cat just hates you and everybody in your family, except the one person that feeds it. More on Spaced Out Radio coming up right after this. Oh, God. I don't know where I come up with this shit sometimes. Oh.
I don't know, but I got to tell you, if anyone's going to make a fool out of me, it's going to be a cat. I will tell you
Oh,
that.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it looks like Renee grew up not far from that area, so she knows the craziness that goes on out there. I think she grew up in that area.
Yes. Hold on 1 second. I can't even type my own hashtag right now. There we go. Yeah, this is going to be good. We're going to have some fun tonight. Like
your chat people are picking on you, Dave.
This is what I deal with from my troll, my favorite troll, Michael. Animal communication, eh?
Michael.
Ask Dave's wife how hard it is to talk to him. It's true. I can't even be mad at that. You know what? Mike trolls me pretty hard. He trolls me pretty hard. But I'll tell you, some of his trolling is sheer brilliancy. Sheer brilliancy. The other day he put up on Twitter, he put up a picture of me with my beard and Randy Quaid with his beard, and my God, the similarities were ugly. Oh, they were ugly but close. Oh, hey, Chuckles. I was just dying laughing.
Oh, about that.
Chuckles is here. Brutus, how you doing? Thanks for coming on in. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you don't mind. We would appreciate that. Bama, good to have you here. Thank you. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Sandra. For some reason, Sandra always wants me to say hi to her 3 times. She's got this weird little tick about that. I don't know.
We have some cat lovers in the chat. So
there's a lot of cat lovers.
Pretty good.
So get this.
Yep.
I got to tell you this story because I don't want to mention it on air. And I mean, I could, but it's not that big of a deal. So I'm trying to call you the first time tonight. I guess you were with a client. And
yep.
I'm walking on my patio and I got my phone to my ear. And all of a sudden, and you can listen to this because it's on your work voicemail. Okay, you can listen to this. I get buzzed by a hummingbird, a little red-headed hummingbird. And
wow.
So I stop, and you can hear it on the message. So I have proof of this. You can hear it on your voicemail. Okay, I stop, and I'm looking at this hummingbird, and I'm trying to get out of its way because I have to walk underneath his feeder that we have up. So that way he can, go do his feeding thing. And I take a couple more steps. Next thing I know, I'm standing under the feeder and he flies and he hovers about 8 inches from my face, just staring at me. And I'm trying, I'm giving you the voice message on this. And I'm thinking, okay, do I hang up on this and take a photo? So I hang up on you finally. And then he flies up, and then he comes back, and I'm just like, okay, I know what's going to happen here because this is a Bigfoot moment. I'm going to go take a picture, and the minute I raise my camera, he's going to leave. So I decided I'm not taking the photo, and then he flies back to the feeding area that we got hanging, and I got my fingers or my hand about 2 inches from him, 2 inches. And I could see his little feet right there and everything. I think I'm going to try and feed him. I think I'm going to try and feed him this year. That is my goal. And I'm going to put out that intention to him.
That's pretty cool. I know that they buzz around me too out there. And sometimes it is shocking how fast they are and how close they come to my head and literally buzz bomb. It's crazy, but those things are amazing. They are little powerhouses of energy.
So here's Joey, Moon Joey. He always wears a different bandana every night listening to the show. I don't know what bandana he has on tonight. He says in our Space Travelers Club on our website, he goes, I'm going to describe a transcript of several years ago of EVPs I captured at an ecological preserve. I seem to have picked up animal EVPs from the details of this following audio clip. So he's translated it here. He goes, EVP, around the bend. As my wife and I approached a secluded pond, these words were captured. My wife states, we have to be quiet in case we see a deer. EVP, walking this way. EVP, let us drink. My wife, are the deer at the pond getting a drink? EVP, run. He says it seemed too crazy to be believed, but it happened and it's true. Hi, Marie. How are you, beautiful? Hi, Mr. Man, Mister. Hey, Scat. How you doing? I always wanted to call someone Scat. That makes it fun. One nobody. How are you, man? Thanks for coming on in again. Appreciate it. All right, we got 30 seconds here. Human Carl's still here, everybody. Human Carl. We love our Human Carl around here. He's awesome. I want to remind everybody the Super Chat is open. Please give us a thumbs up if you're enjoying tonight's show. And if you want to support this show, go to our website. You could sign up for the Space Travelers Club for just $5 a month, as well as do a little shopping at our SOR vault. Soon we're going to have more swag up there for you. New logos are going to be really cool, but we got some good stuff in there now. So do a little shopping. Help us out. Here we go with the second half hour. Music's about to come on. Music's on. Welcome back to the second half hour of Spaced Out Radio tonight. I am your host, Dave Scott, sitting in the captain's chair of SOR headquarters. Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate you taking the time to hang out with us. Now, I want to remind you that if you miss portions of this show or others, you can check out our free archives at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. The only thing I ask for in return is hit that subscribe button. Our website is spacedoutradio.com, where we have a plethora of features for you, including rocking out to Bumblefoot and reading up on Captain Shirk's SOR Newswire. And follow us on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio for the show, and my personal handle at Dave Scott SOR. Tonight we are talking animal communication. Spiritually and with the animals alive. Can we communicate with them? We're going to find out from one of the best in the world when it comes to this, Karen Anderson. You can find her books on Amazon in any major bookstore. She is a #1 bestseller, and she's got great blonde hair as well. Let's just point that out. She has nice hair, and we like good hair around here. Karen, welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you. My blonde hair and I say thank you for that lovely intro.
Hey, that's the way we do it around here. That's the way we do it. Anyhow, animal communication. What is this all about? Because we hear psychic people who talk to the dead, who talk to spirit guides, who talk to anything that's going bump in the night in our houses. And yet, a lot of us don't put to the fact that animals have spirits that can communicate as well. When did you start learning this?
I was born with it. It was just part of me. It was just natural to me. I thought everybody could. I didn't know I was weird. I didn't know I was different. I didn't know I was doing something I wasn't supposed to be doing until I got around 5 or 6 years old. My parents started saying, how did she know that? I would tell them things about the family pets that I couldn't have known. I was also seeing spirits around the house, and I was describing family members that had been dead for a long time, and so it kind of freaked out my parents. They didn't know what to do with it, so they told me to stop. They said, animals can't talk, and we don't want to hear about spooky dead people hanging around. So they really discouraged me. So I learned to keep it to myself. I didn't tell anybody, but I could always understand the animals on a very deeper level than from what I understand most people could understand them. So as far as I can recall, going back in time, I've always understood them. Not like what I do today. No, not like that. So, as a kid, you just think that's what everybody does. You just kind of roll with it. And after about, maybe around the age of 8, I stopped, pushed it all under the rug, and forgot about it for several decades. And it was in those law enforcement moments, that's when everything started to come back again. I call it a spiritual awakening. Some call it a reawakening, where I got really interested in all things paranormal and all things unexplained. And I was just really drawn to animals my whole life. So it was only natural that I would want to understand them on a higher level. And that's what kind of kick-started everything, was I started getting messages. I got another cop story for you. Unless you're
I would love to hear it. I would love to hear it.
Okay, next cop story. So early on, as a police officer, I got called out to a domestic violence call where a woman was pregnant and her boyfriend decided to punch her in the stomach.
Oh, that's terrible.
Not cool. Yeah, so he took off on foot, and the other officer I was with went looking for suspect. I stayed back and was interviewing the victim. As I was interviewing the victim, she had her front door slightly open, and a little kitty walked out and caught my attention. And being a cat lover, of course, I had to, talk about the kitty, and there's a kitty. And of course, I got totally distracted from what I was doing. And this little kitty walked over to a garden shed and sat down in front of the garden shed and looked right at me. And again, remember, I'm just interviewing the victim at this point. I'm not trying to do anything psychically or otherwise. And I heard, coming from the kitty, I heard a voice in my head that said, inside, inside. So I sent the victim that I was interviewing away, and I came around to the garden shed and ordered the suspect to come out. And sure enough, he was hiding in the shed the whole time. That had already been searched. So he must have double backed around and snuck back in the shed when we weren't paying attention, because that had already been searched. So it was, these things were happening to me when I wasn't trying. So there's the key. These things were happening when I wasn't trying. When I tried to focus, when I tried to get something, I wasn't getting anything. It was like crickets. I got nothing. But when I was in kind of an altered focus, I'll call it, an altered focus, that's when information started coming in. I learned how to harness that altered focus, and that's exactly what opened the door to more messages coming through, and that's what brought me to where I am today. It's an altered state. Some of you listening can probably relate. Perhaps you get into a little bit of an altered state when you're either, maybe you're driving. Have you ever had this happen? You're driving down the road and all of a sudden you go, whoa, how did I get here? I don't even remember here. I was on like autopilot. You kind of go into that. It's a weird altered state that you go into. Or maybe even when you're cooking or listening to music, you kind of go into a little bit of a slightly altered state where you're conscious about what's going on around you, but you're not like super focused about what's going on around you. It's kind of hard to describe. Are you following me here?
Yes. Keep it up.
Okay. So that's what it's like. You have to find that spot. You have to find that altered part to be able to let messages come through. And once I was able to figure out how to get there, that's when things started to snowball, and it just exploded after that. My whole world was turned upside down when I realized that animals on crime scenes could tell me what happened and who did what before I even arrived on scene.
Wow. That is impactful to everything that you were doing. So when you left law enforcement, for whatever reason, that's not really relevant to tonight's conversation, and decided to work on your own psychic abilities, your own focus on the animals, what made you take that path?
Because animals are super cool. They're wonderful. They're my whole world. I don't have human kids. I have animal kids. I've always been drawn to them. When I was a little kid, I wanted to work at SeaWorld and train the dolphins and the whales. I wanted to be a wildlife trainer and train lions and tigers. I wanted to be a veterinarian. It's always been about animals with me. It wasn't really like I chose it. I just followed my passion. I just did what gave me the most joy and what I was most interested in. And when I started to realize that animals could tell me, who the aggressor was in a domestic violence case, when they could tell me what actually happened on a scene before I got there, if somebody did something and they were lying about it, I could, obviously, I can't put that in my police report. I'm not going to tell anybody that my confidential informants had 4 legs and a tail. Oh, no, I won't do that. But I found that more times than not, the animals would provide more accurate information than the humans that I investigated, interrogated, or questioned. Eyewitness accounts from humans ended up being far less credible in certain situations. Humans have agendas. Humans are, they're usually either covering up for someone, trying to hide their own criminal activity. Animals are just pure. They're honest. They just come right out and say whatever it is. They don't have an agenda like humans do. So you get this unfiltered purity from the animals, where with humans, we had a saying in law enforcement, if their lips are moving, they're lying. Because no matter who you talk to, you question them about something, they lie to you.
Sounds like my ex-wife.
So, not the case with an animal.
Okay.
With the exception of cats.
Yeah, of course. It always comes down to cats.
Cats lie. Everything else doesn't lie. No other animals lie. Only cats. Cats lie.
Okay, well, why are cats such jerks? Let's just get into this right off the bat. Why are cats jerks? Why are they pissed off, just because they're breathing? All right, that they've got these humans who absolutely dote all over them, and cats are just mean, vicious, cranky. I don't get it. I don't get it at all.
Well, I think someone in chat already said it, that we have to blame the Egyptians because they made a god out of cats, and then somewhere along the line they got demoted. And I think they're trying to make up for it.
Now, is that a serious answer? Because that sounds like it has a strong possibility of being correct.
That's my theory. I'm sticking to it. Think about it. If you were a god or, worshipped as a god, and now suddenly you're, playing second fiddle to the family dog, how would you feel?
Well, I mean, but they have a lot of crass attitude. Like, how many times do we see cats just lying up on the counter when you're trying to eat dinner at the table or something? They just jump up and they put their ass right in your face or whatever it may be. I mean, that's not cool. That's not cool. They don't care that you're eating dinner. They don't care, that like my daughter has a cat. Okay. And I'll be and we've got this island bar at our kitchen, and I'll be sitting there eating dinner, and the cat will walk and sit down about 4 inches from my plate, take its paw right onto my plate to my chicken. Like, hey, man, give me some chicken. Now I got to share my meal with a cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had some that will stick their paw into whatever it is I'm drinking.
Yeah.
I know. They have no boundaries. There's no boundaries.
No couth.
I'm blaming the Egyptians. I'm going to point to the Egyptians. They did it.
Well, I mean, hey, if you can't blame the Egyptians about it, you can't blame anybody. I mean, think about it. They still kept the secrets to how those pyramids were built anyways. But...
They probably had help from, I think the cats helped them build it. That's,
okay.
Put those two together.
So as we're focusing on cats and animal communication here, let's focus on the animals on this side of the veil, first of all. When you're chatting with a cat, you say cats lie, that they don't care, that they're just cranky. Have you ever asked a cat, why you like that? You got a pretty good life. People clean up your mess. They feed you. They try and be nice and pet you. And yet you scratch the living daylights out of their legs, the furniture. You just don't care. What are cats saying about this?
They really don't care. They are all about themselves, and they're all about being in the moment. So, I've learned a lot from cats. They don't worry about yesterday. They don't stress about tomorrow or next Friday. They're very much in the moment. They're all about themselves, and they do it in a very, kind of a selfless way. Not all cats are jerks. I'm a total cat lover. I have some pretty amazing cats, and I have had some pretty amazing cats. So, they do get a bad rap, but there are some out there that are little troublemakers. I just think that they have a very high regard for themselves. Like, cats will almost always feel like they are better than the family dog. They're higher in stature. They see themselves as being higher than the humans in the household when you look at the hierarchy. And when I communicate with them, they place themselves very high. Not all of them. There's some scaredy cats out there. There's some that, have trouble and anxiety. So, of course, I'm generalizing here. But
too much catnip?
They do hold themselves in high regard.
The ones with anxiety, is that because of the catnip addiction?
Quite possibly, yes. I think that, a cat, any animal for that matter, can hold on to anxiety, can hold on to trauma, just like we can. We're similar in that way. Many times, if something has happened very early in life, even in utero, they can still carry that trauma with them. So if you have a cat, like for some reason you've had it its whole life, it's never been exposed to anything bad, let's say anyone wearing a ball cap, and yet anytime it sees somebody with a ball cap, it, takes off and runs for the hills. It could go back to something that happened even to the birth mother before that kitten was born. So they're so sensitive, they can pick up on the slightest things that happen. And, they're pretty amazing. I never get tired of watching cats. I mean, cats just are incredible. I have quite a few here on the farm, and let me tell you, I spend a lot of my time herding them around and managing them. They're pretty amazing creatures.
Okay, so
very adaptable.
Yeah, and I can see that, and I could see that, but I mean, this is still an animal that eats mice and rats and shrews and birds and everything. They're not pleasant. They're not pleasant.
Yeah, and speaking of that, just before our show, I went out to go do a head count here to make sure I had everybody accounted for. And I found some greasy, grimy gopher guts underneath the dining room table.
Exactly. What do you need with that?
Yeah. And you know what? Don't tell anyone, but I just left it there.
Oh no! There might be a couple people listening who may have heard you left gopher guts on your dining room floor.
I don't want to clean that up. I have to wait till it dries up or something. I don't want to deal with that when it's all. I have a different gopher story for you.
Okay.
This is in regards to a dog though.
Okay.
So
do
my
it.
cats do a great job of gophering here on the farm. I live on a farm out in eastern Washington, and so there's lots of moles and voles and mice and gophers and stuff. So my cats killed a gopher one time, and I was happy because gophers tear up my garden. Anyway, had to get up and let the dogs out in the middle of the night to go do their business outside. So let the dogs back in. Everybody piled back in my bed, 2:00 in the morning. I was single back then. And I'm falling asleep and I hear this chomp, 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 crunch, crunch, chomp, chomp, crunch, crunch. And I'm thinking, what the hell? Nobody should be eating. It's bedtime. Nobody should have anything they're chomping on. So I reached down with my right hand and I felt my dog, Beanie the Weenie, and Beanie the Weenie was chomping on something. And so I reached down even further to see if he had his toy there, but it wasn't the toy.
No, it was the gopher. Your resident gopher was toast, wasn't it?
It was in my bed.
Ew. Ew.
Yeah.
Well, that's pleasant.
So dogs can do creepy things too. We can't just all throw cats under the bus.
Well, yes. How'd you like to be a poodle with one of those haircuts? I feel sorry for them.
No, thank you. No. Can't do it.
Now, I got to ask you this, because if I'm a poodle and my owner takes me to get one of those haircuts, with the balls on my feet and, the big poof on, the beehive on top of my head, I'm not happy with that. I am not happy with that.
I'd have to agree with you. I would be one of the rogue poodles. I would not sit still for that. No way. No.
I'd be upset. I'd be angry. Not going to lie.
Yep.
We've got about just over a minute and a half here before we got to go to break at the top of the hour. Best-selling author Karen Anderson is with us talking animal communication. Out of all the house pets that we have, and we'll get to farm animals next, but out of house pets, besides cats and dogs, which is pretty obvious, what kind of animals are the easiest or the funnest to deal with?
The dead ones.
And here I thought you were going to say like lizards or something.
No, it's it's connecting with the animals who have passed on. That's the stuff that boggles my mind. It blows me away. The animals that are here to communicate with animals that are here. They're typically their talk about themselves. That's their favorite topic. Their second most favorite topic is themselves, and their third most favorite topic is themselves. They really are all about what's going on in their life, and that's great. But what I have carved out for myself is this niche or niche, I never say it right, whatever that word is, for the afterlife. And what blows me away, and I think what keeps me coming back, is how they know what is going on in our lives, even after years and years after they die.
I hear you. And on that note, I'm going to get you to hold on because we are going to get into dogs next because I love dogs. I absolutely love dogs, except for those haircuts on poodles. And I can't figure out what the hell a pug is for the life of me. But nonetheless, we are going to continue down the road of animal communication tonight with best-selling author Karen Anderson. You definitely want to check out her books. You definitely want to check out her readings and her research into animal communication. She is one of the best not only in North America, but the world. And she's got fantastic hair as well. And you know we like a good hairdo around here on Spaced Out Radio. So continue on, my friends, right after this. The Mighty SOR. We'll be right back. All right. I am going to quickly, speaking of my dogs, run them outside because they happen to know that when it's break time at the top of the hour, that I have to take them out. I'll be right back. I'm going to put some commercials on for a couple of minutes, and I'll turn them off and say hello back to you when I get back, okay?
Sounds good.
All right. Be right back.
So tune us in at spacedoutradio.com starting at 9:06 Pacific, 12:06 a.m. Eastern, where we can all get a little spooky together.
Spaced Out Saturday nights right here at spacedoutradio.com.
The SOR Vault is open for business, and do we have some cool swag for you to pick up? All you have to do is head over to our website and click on the SOR Vault. You have a variety of cool logos to choose from, and put them on anything you want. T-shirts, hoodies, hats, coffee mugs, you name it, we can get it to you. So do your shopping by supporting the store you love. Get your Spaced Out Radio swag at the SOR Vault today.
Are you an experiencer of something strange that can't be explained? Do you want help finding out what's going on? I'm Ryan Stacy, head of the Experiencer Support Association, otherwise known as TESSA. We've teamed up with Spaced Out Radio to investigate cases filled out in the SOR Sightlines report. We are independent and there's no cost to what we do. All we need is your experience. Let's find out what's happening together on the SOR Sightlines report.
Looking for creative ways to get your company out in the public? How about advertising on Spaced Out Radio? Our sales department is waiting to hear from you, and we can work around any budget. From commercial spots to banners to special promotions, there are many opportunities to get your name and product out to our SOR listeners. For a price guide and more information, please contact us at sales@spacedoutradio.com.
Hi, this is Amber Beckrud, and I want to invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel where we store all of the SOR show archives for free. And as an added bonus, every 2 weeks I'm posting brand new content on Cryptid Tales, where I will get into some of the spookier legends and folklore from around the world and tell the stories that go with them. Find us at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio and check out Cryptid Tales today. Drop a comment and let me know what you want to hear. See you there.
Hello, Space Travelers. It's me again, Carl. Don't forget to join the Space Travelers Club for just $5 a month and follow Spaced Out Radio on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio. Our Instagram, Dave Scott SOR. Our Facebook page is Spaced Out Radio Show. Our archives are free at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Come woo it up with Spaced Out Radio today. Bye.
Hey, Space Travelers, this is John Resig, founder of the Chive and Chive Charities. If you know anything about our website, you know we like to do things a little differently. We're not some faceless organization collecting money for a nebulous cause. Our donor dollars go directly toward life-improving items. Then we give those items directly to an underdog who needs it most. To become a donor with Spaced Out Radio's official charity, Chive Charities, just go to chivecharities.org/donate.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now.
Okay, I'm back.
Hi.
And my dog Doug has decided to join us.
You have a dog named Doug?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool name.
Yeah, he's a good guy. Good guy. He's got a real laissez-faire surfer type attitude where he just don't give a care. He's just happy.
Well, with a name like Doug, you kind of have to be that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's pretty cool. He's pretty cool. He likes taking in the show.
Right on.
Yeah.
You have like the best chat in the world.
Yes, I do. I'm very blessed.
These are the best people ever.
Yeah, they're pretty fun. They're pretty fun. We got a few wing nuts in there, like peanut butter rolls, but no, they're good people in there. Good people, all of them. They really are. I absolutely adore them. And realistically, without them, I'm nothing. And that's how I try and take it. Is without them, I'm really nothing.
Well, they're super cool. And I just adore people who love their animals. So everybody's talking about their pets, and I love that.
Right. Oh yeah. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of pet lovers in here. I'm debating on whether or not I want to get a chameleon for the studio. I've always wanted a chameleon.
Oh. Well, that would be kind of cool. They have creepy eyes, though.
I know. I just love them, though. Just love them. But, yeah. Let's see here. What do we got? We got about 1 minute here, Karen. 1 minute. Millennium, I'm going to start off with your question for Karen when we come back here. So you'll get your answer then.
Oh, I already chatted it. You're too late.
Oh. Well, then.
Dang it. Okay, I'll keep my fingers off the keyboard.
All right. Well, that's okay.
Do anything
That's
else.
okay. That's all right. No issues with that. No issues with that. But let's see here. 30 seconds. So I go on Craigslist because I actually want to get a cat. I like cats. I act like I don't, but I actually do. And I go on Craigslist, and usually there's hundreds of people trying to give away kittens or rehome older cats or whatever. Come across this one lady on Craigslist today selling tabby cats for $200 a kitten. I just about shit my pants. I'm like, what? $200 a kitten. I'm like, it's a tabby. They are a dime a dozen.
Dave Scott. Follow Dave on Twitter.
Anyways, here we go. Music's on.
And on Facebook, Spaced Out Radio Show.
Welcome back to hour number 2 of Spaced Out Radio tonight. I am your host, Dave Scott. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you taking your time to spend with us. We welcome back everyone listening in on our terrestrial affiliates across North America and on the digital side on TalkStream Live and Revolution Radio. Remember, you can check out all of our archives. They are free at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Do me the favor, hit that subscribe button. The Desert Clam has set the password for tonight in the SOR Space Travelers Club. Snooperscope. Snooperscope is your password. Use it wisely, space travelers, as the Clam sets a password each and every night right here on Spaced Out Radio. Our website is spacedoutradio.com, where we have a plethora of features for you, including rocking out to Bumblefoot and reading up on Captain Shirk's XOR Newswire. Follow us on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio for the show, and my personal handle at Dave Scott SOR. We bring in Karen Anderson tonight. She is former police officer, psychic intuitive, her specialty communicating with animals and animal spirits. She's a best-selling author. You can find her books on Amazon and in any major bookstore. Karen, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I am so happy to be part of Spaced Out Radio.
We appreciate that as well. We appreciate that as well. My friend Leon in the chat room says, you need your $200 for Dairy Queen and not a cat. Yeah, this is a guy who tells me, no, I don't need one of those strawberry milkshakes. But he guzzles it. the minute he gets it. With a smile on his face. I absolutely love it. Makes me laugh. Anyways, let's move on here. Yeah, I couldn't believe that. I'll say this on the air. So I'm thinking about getting a cat for the house. Mrs. SOR wants a cat. And she's like, I want an older cat. So I go on Craigslist. And usually cats are, people are giving away kittens and cats left, right, and center. It is sad if you think about it that way. Because I do believe that pets should be spayed and neutered. And $200 for a tabby cat. I have never seen that in my life. $200 for a tabby cat kitten. I just about died when I saw it.
That's pretty crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
It's totally crazy. But let's focus on dogs here. Because my dog, Doug, is sitting in the studio right now. I gave him a last name, too, Stevenson. So he's got a first and last name. All my animals do. And, I look at him, and he's got this laissez-faire type of surfer type attitude. And not a care in the world. He hates, the only thing that I think is funny is that he hates anything in his yard. Birds, the crows, and I love to watch the crows and ravens because they will specifically sit on the tops of the trees to bug him, and he goes crazy over them. Kind of like telling them, get the hell out of my yard. He's like a cranky old man, and yet he doesn't even mow the lawn. But nonetheless, when it comes to dogs, they have the title of man's best friend. What's up with them? Is it loyalty? Is it friendship? Because the one thing I can say about dogs that I absolutely hate is that they don't live long enough. And it bugs me. Bugs me really, really bad because they are just so awesome. Yep. Tell me about dogs.
Yep. Well, I pick on cats a lot, but I really do love them. But I will have to say that, when it comes to that complete and total, overly gushing wave of love that knocks me out of my chair, it's usually going to come from a dog. Cats show love too, but they're more restrained with it. They don't give it as gushingly as dogs do. It's almost like, dogs have no filter and things just fly out of them. It just comes out. They can't help it. It's bubbling over. It's just there. Where cats tend to think about it more, maybe, do I really want to be sharing this with Karen Anderson? They think about stuff more than dogs do. They just kind of, dogs just let it go. They just don't care. They just put it out there. They wear everything on their sleeve. And I think that's, what's so endearing about them. And, cats, I have a few cats that are dog-like, and I saw someone in chat say that too, or maybe it was vice versa. I don't remember now. But, who else makes you feel that loved when you come home, or even you've left the room for 30 seconds, you come back in and suddenly it's like, oh my God, I'm so happy to see you.
I know.
You don't get that from a cat.
I know.
You don't. Cat's like, what? Where's my treat? Let me out or let me in. They're demanding, and dogs are like, oh my God, I love you. You're the best thing ever. And oh my God, you look great. I'm so happy to be here. They're just like gushing.
I know.
Gushing.
I know. The only time Doug here has ever really been a jerk was right after we got him neutered. Right after we got him neutered, within 2 weeks, he paid me back. He ripped apart my recliner, and he ripped apart my couch, and he ripped apart our other dog's bed as well. Total revenge. And I was getting, and he just kind of gave me this screw you type attitude. I'm not listening to you. And then one day he overheard a conversation where it's like, look, we can't afford to be replacing furniture because of he's going to, tear it up. we're going to have to get rid of him.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have to get rid of him. And all of a sudden, within like 2 days, he has been a fantastic dog. And then when we moved up north, because we had a little we got him off a farm. And the farm that he was on, from a puppy until 8 months old, which is still a puppy, but he was full grown at that point. He was free range. He had acreage to run around on. And then we brought him home and we got a postage stamp. And so when we moved up north, I remember I grabbed him by the face, gently, and I was petting his head, and I looked him deep in the eyes and I said, "Hey man, I know we haven't always got along, and I know you don't like this yard, but when we move, I'm going to find you a big backyard." And the day we moved and brought him up, I took him to the backyard, and I've got probably a third of an acre for a backyard. And it's all fenced and everything. And I brought him back there, and I said, "Look," I said, "this is your new yard. What do you think? I told you I was going to get you a big backyard." And he looked at the yard, he looked at me, he looked at the yard, looked at me, big smile on his face, and took off for about 20 minutes just running around his yard. He was happier than anything. And he has been absolutely loyal to me ever since. Like, I don't even need to leash him. I don't even need to leash him.
You stuck to your word.
Yeah. That's why I tried. I think I followed through. I think I followed through. But it also shows loyalty, too. You have to be loyal to, whereas a cat doesn't care about the loyalty. If you show the cat loyalty, the dog, they want that loyalty back, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So break it down.
And,
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I love what you said about, him being destructive, and oh my gosh, you were thinking about getting rid of him, and then he makes this total 180 turnaround. I love that.
Yeah, the only problem with him now. The only problem with him now is when he comes in and lays down in the studio and hangs out, is he has a gas problem. Like right now, my face is a little sour right now. I'm not going to lie. That's terrible, Doug. Terrible. But nonetheless, trying to have a serious talk show with your dog in the studio and he rips one, right? I mean, this is the only time I could really talk about it.
Now, how am I supposed to recover from that? What can I possibly go into now to recover from the gas story?
I don't know.
Let me think
I'm about to get up and open the window. That's for sure.
I'm pulling from all my memory cards here, Dave, trying to think how I can recover now from that one.
Well, let's just get right into dogs. Is there a difference in dealing communication-wise with bigger dogs like German Shepherds and Labs and Rottweilers comparatively to Chihuahuas and Toy Poodles and Pomeranians?
Not really. I will tell you, though, what is a big difference is in compared to dogs versus cats is, and this is for all your listeners who are either struggling with a behavioral problem or they have dogs or cats that aren't doing what they want them to do. But for the most part, it's much easier to motivate a dog than it is to motivate a cat to change their behavior. And here's a tip. Are you guys ready for a tip? I'm going to give you a tip.
All right.
When you have an animal, a pet, that is not doing what you want it to do, if you will focus your complete attention on what you do want them to do and not focus on whatever it is they're tearing up or destroying, don't focus on the bad behavior. Get an image in your mind and say it out loud about what you want them to do. what you do is you shift everything. It starts to change. So instead of you putting energy into something you don't want them to do, you're going to send messages not only through your words, but your feelings and then visual images. You're going to give them like a triple dose. This is what I want you to do. And you picture it, you say it, you feel it, you mean it. Say it out loud. If you only focus, like if you got a cat that won't use the litter box and all you do is obsess about the cat not using the litter box and where am I going to find the next spot that he hit or the next accident or whatever, you're just fueling that fire. And the biggest way to change behavior in pets is to change yourself first. Anytime I have a behavioral problem, a client comes to me with a behavioral problem with their pet, I start with the person first. The animals are usually only doing exactly what they think we want them to do, or they are doing what we're sending them images and messages to do in our stress and anxiety. We're sending them mixed messages. So think about it. Anyone out there who has a behavior problem, if you're obsessing about that problem, if all you're doing is thinking about, God, when I get home, I wonder if the couch is going to be torn up, or, I wonder if he's going to dig holes in the yard or tear up the laundry, or if the cat's going to, tear the mini blinds down, you're throwing gasoline on the fire. So start with yourself. It starts with you. There's a trickle down that happens. When you get in line with what you want, then it will trickle down to the pet. And I'm generalizing because, as we know, all situations are different and all pets are different, but that's a really good place to start.
Makes sense. So what you're saying is, it's like changing your diet. If you don't want to be fat, you got to change your diet. You can't keep eating potato chips and ice cream for dinner. You got to change it. You got to throw in something healthy.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
And as someone in chat, I think Brett in chat just said it, there's no bad pets, there's just bad pet parents. Well, I don't want to say that pet parents are necessarily bad. I'm just going to say that the average person doesn't realize how much they're contributing to destructive or naughty behavior or inappropriate behavior, whatever it is. They don't realize how much it matters about what goes through their mind. And when you realize that animals are like sponges, they are sensitive to the world around them. That's how they've existed for eons and eons and eons, because they're sensitive to the world around them. They adapt, they absorb, they take in what is in their environment. You are in their environment. If you are exuding a certain kind of image or energy to them constantly all the time, guess what? They're going to either get mixed messages and get confused and get really stressed out, or they're going to do the exact thing that you don't want them to do because that's all you're thinking about.
So when you're dealing with dogs, I can see that. But if, say, you're dealing with a pet rabbit, or you're dealing with a house cat, or whatever that may be, caged, frogs, lizards, whatever it could be, is that different thinking in regards to those lines?
It's not different thinking. You just have to find a motivator. Every animal's behavior, there's something that motivates them. So whether they're a, pet lizard or a pet bird or a pet rabbit or horse or whatever, even, your human family members. Let's admit things here. Humans are motivated to change behavior, right? There's certain things that'll motivate someone to change their behavior. Animals are the same way. We're an animal. We're a human animal. So you have to find what motivates them. And it's going to be different for every animal. It's going to be different for every situation. But if you start with yourself and start with the humans that are around that animal, and everyone gets on the same page and everyone thinks the same thought and everyone sends the same energy out in images and feelings and thoughts and words, and this is what we want you to do, and then you praise and you catch them in the act of being good, you're way ahead of the game.
So when it comes to animals, how do we tell what they want? When you're communicating with animals, and whether it's troubled animals or just animals in general, what are they telling you? What do they want?
Well, they are very much in the moment. So right here, right now, what's going on right now. So they love to talk about themselves, their favorite things, their favorite toys, their favorite treats. That's what's going on with them. They can pick up on your stress. They will sometimes start displaying bad behaviors and rip things up because they're picking up on your stress. So again, they're just these sponges. But when I communicate with animals, the first thing they usually talk about is themselves. And they will also share different things about your life. I've had some sessions where a dog or a cat will come through and they'll show me something like, I just had a session not just the other week where I saw braces on a kid. I didn't know what it was like on their teeth. I didn't know what was going on with the braces. I just saw them. I saw a flash, an image of braces on a kid's teeth. Well, the client that I was doing the session for told me that his grandson just got his braces removed. Now, you would think, and, you know, a common thought would be, what the heck would the dog be sharing that information for? Why would they care? Why would they know? Why would they talk about braces coming off the grandson? Because anything that is connected to you, any thought you have, anything you experience, anything those connected to you experience, the animals can reflect that back to me. The dog didn't know what that meant. He just knew that it was a big deal, that something going on in the mouth with these things that are in the mouth. The dog knew it was a big deal. It was important. It was going on right at that moment. The kid had just gotten the braces off, so he flashed me the image of the braces. The dog didn't come through and say, oh, well, the grandson just got his braces off. No, I saw an image of the braces, and I asked my client, what's going on? I'm seeing an image of a kid with braces. What in the world? And that's how they send messages. They don't always know the big picture, but they just show me different things. They flash different images, or I'll hear a word or a sentence about things that are going on in your life. And it could be anything. It could be a health issue. It could be a financial issue. It could be that you painted your living room. It could be something so obscure and minute. I had a cat one time show me these geometric lines in the house, like on an angle, geometric lines crossing each other. Well, I didn't know what the heck that was, so I have to ask the cat's person, what's going on with these geometric lines? That client was just the previous weekend having the grout removed from the tile in the kitchen, which was in a geometric pattern on the kitchen floor. So she had all these tile workers in there, and they were grinding the grout out from the tiles because they were trying to replace it. Now, the cat didn't say, oh, there's tile being replaced in the grout. Cat didn't know what the heck it was, but Cat showed me an image that reflected what was going on in the house recently.
We have under a minute to go here before we got to go to break at the bottom of the hour. Author, psychic intuitive, Karen Anderson is our guest tonight. Animal communication is what we are talking about. Are most of the stories from animals the same?
No. The commonalities are the love they have for their humans and how they just want to be heard and understood.
Well, that's something we can dig into a little bit when we come back, because I think that's kind of important. Trying to figure out our animals, especially our cats. What's up with them? And I know there's a bunch of cat lovers out there wondering, oh, my cat is beautiful. And in the meantime, they're staring at their arms that are filled with scratches and little pinholes for being poked and prodded from not aliens, but cat claws. Karen Anderson is our guest tonight on Spaced Out Radio. You can find her award-winning books on Amazon and at any major bookstore. Support your bookstores, by the way. I love a good bookstore. Way better than Kindle. More Spaced Out Radio coming up after this. This is so much fun tonight. So much fun.
I know. It's way fun. And you know what? This is so way past my bedtime. I don't think I've stayed up this late since like New Year's Eve.
I stay up this late every night. Every night.
I used to, but, you know, I don't know. Lately, it's like 9:30. Boop. Night time.
Well, you know, we'll keep you awake. We'll keep you awake.
Oh, yeah. This is like a treasure for me. I get to talk about what I do. I get to talk about pets. I get to talk about my weirdness. I know I'm weird. I'm okay with that.
We all are. We all are weird. Especially Leon, if he's still listening. See if he is. Hey, Alan, how you doing? Thanks for coming on in tonight. Appreciate that.
How long is our break?
Oh, we got about another 5.5 minutes. If you got to disappear.
Can I go get?
Yeah,
I'll go get some water. I'll be back.
You do that. You do that. I'm having fun tonight. I'm having fun tonight. Leon, you are my best friend. You are one of my best friends. It's okay to admit that you know me. We go cutting firewood together. By the way, for all of you who have been bugging me about wearing chaps in the forest, you can blame Leon for getting me the chaps. He didn't like the fact that I didn't wear chaps, so we went out and we're cutting some logs in the forest, and he throws them at me. He's like, "Hey, I got you these, man. Be safe." So you can blame Leon for the chaps that I have. Yeah, let's hear. Yeah, bug Leon about the chaps. Bug Leon. This isn't me. Oh, you're going to get it now, Leon. You're going to get it now. Don't knock my day job. It's fun. I love my day job. I love my night job. Mm-hmm. Oh God. Oh, let's see here. Yes, assless chaps, red-headed Lisa. Leon has a pair of assless chaps too. Oh, Leon, you don't know. I took like 5 days of harassment over the chaps. Chaps and... Oh, you tell Grandma Rose. You tell Grandma Rose. Tomorrow night when Grandma Rose is here, you tell her. Oh, yes.
Okay, I'm back. I just heard grandma and assless chaps in the same sentence.
Oh yes, my buddy Leon. Last year, we'll go out in in the forest will hack down a bunch of dead trees, and he didn't like the fact that I wasn't wearing assless protective chaps while using my chainsaw. So all of a sudden I show up in the forest one day and meeting him there, and he's like, "Hey, I got these for you." So now I got assless chaps for when I'm using my chainsaw.
God.
Yeah. I love my chainsaw. Love my chainsaw.
Great visual. Thank you.
Oh, I'm wearing underwear. Don't worry. I'm wearing underwear. Yes, I have my chainsaw roaring when I'm wearing the assless chaps, Marie.
How do you do a thumbs up in the chat? I can't find it.
Right beside the $sign on the super chat, right down below where you type in.
$sign.
All right, we got about 30 seconds. 30 seconds. All right, here we go.
.com.
Here we go. Oh, the chat room's hilarious. Thank you so much for tuning us on in tonight as we continue Spaced Out Radio. I am your host, Dave Scott, sitting in the captain's chair of SOR headquarters. Appreciate you tuning on in. We thank all of our listeners across North America and around the world for chiming on in, especially if you're in our chat rooms tonight. Thank you so much. You guys make it a lot of fun. We know we have listeners listening in on KZFX all the way up in Mississauga, Ontario, where we also are on Saga 960. We appreciate you taking the time. Hey, I want to remind all of you that if you missed portions of this show or others, you can check out our free archives at youtube.com/spaced out radio. Just do me the favor, hit that subscribe button. Our website is spacedoutradio.com, where we have a plethora of features for you, including rocking out to Bumblefoot and reading up on Captain Shirk's SOR Newswire. Do me a favor, follow me on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio for the show, and my personal handle at Dave Scott SOR. Tonight we are talking about animal communication. Award-winning author, bestseller, Karen Anderson is here. Yeah, she works with animals all day, dead and alive, getting their stories about what they have to say on this realm and from the other side. Karen, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
You're
happy
welcome.
To be here.
Well, we're happy you are here. Happy you are here. Karen, what's it like to communicate with an animal on the other side? Because I think for a lot of people, we trust our pets more than we trust the people around us. We tell them our secrets. We cuddle them when we're in pain. They're always there to comfort, and be there for us. And then when we lose them, it is horrific type pain. Horrific type pain, because we're like losing a member of our family, and literally for many of us, our best friends.
It is. It's, I think, one of the most painful experiences we go through, and I've been there many times. I've had a lot of animals. I've lost a lot of animals. But I will tell you that I'm also a human medium, so I can connect with departed human spirits. And what's interesting, Dave, to me, is how different the energy is when I connect with a pet versus a human spirit. It's almost like the difference between somebody that wants to follow the rules and send the messages to me so that I can understand them, which is the animals, versus the humans who don't listen. They do what they want to do. They don't send messages the way I ask them to send them. But the animals will, usually, except certain cats, of course. That's what's so interesting to me. So when I sit back and do my work and I know that I'm going to be connecting with either an animal spirit or a human spirit, I find it fascinating the difference between the two. Like, why would the animals be so willing and forthcoming to share messages with their loved ones, and the human spirits are not as forthcoming? Like, what is it about that? Why would they hold that back more? I'm always like thinking, in what makes sense here? Why would they be that way? Sometimes connecting with a pet, they fire hose me with information. I can't even write it down as fast as they're sending it to me. It's like they just can't wait to get that information out. And that just doesn't always happen with humans. There's a few exceptions, of course. Somebody was really outgoing when they were alive, and then they're really going to be really outgoing on the other side. But I just think that's really kind of an interesting comparison. Like, why would they be different? Why would they hold back? Why would animals be so forthcoming with information?
What are they forthcoming about, though?
Anything, everything. They do have a very short attention span, though. Animals do. They go off. If I don't get the information from them right then and there, they're off on another topic, or they're on to something else. They have a very short attention span, so I have to go in, I have to get the information, and then I get out again, and then I let them recharge their batteries. Because, this is all based on energy. Anyone who's in paranormal investigation, that for a spirit to talk or communicate with us, they have to be pulling their energy from somewhere. Well, the same is true with an animal spirit. Now, a living animal, it's a little bit different because they're still in physical form. They still have a physical body. But when I'm connecting with an animal spirit, they have to pull their energy from a source. So I make sure that I have plenty of energy sources here in my office when I'm working, so that the animals can refuel and top off their tank during a session. But it's still something I have to really work with, because they can either get distracted and go on to another topic, tune out, or they run low on fuel, and I have to then recharge them and kick up the battery power so I can get more messages from them. It's an interesting dynamic, and those energy workers, people who work with energy like I do, they'll get it. They'll understand what I'm talking about. Paranormal researchers, you get it. Your batteries drain on your equipment. The spirits pull their energy from the batteries.
Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. So with animals, a lot of people, and there's many religious out there who do not believe that animals have spirits and that they do not go to heaven, or what we consider heaven, or the other side, or wherever it may be. I kind of disagree with that. I have seen animal spirits and ghosts. I mean, my dog passed away last August, and she used to sleep up on my bed. And when I went to bed after the show that night, I saw her lying there in the bed, and I asked her to move over, and she disappeared.
Whoa.
Yeah. And then I've been lying on the bed, on my bed, just kind of getting ready for bed, and I can feel our cat who passed away jump up on the bed and crawl over my legs. And I can literally feel the footprints go over top of my legs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So is that normal?
And, I try to keep religion out of what I do, because the two don't go together. But I'll just share that I was raised Catholic, and I have a very spiritual side to me, and that's where I put my focus and my energy. I go with the spirituality aspect for my work, and I'm very much a believer in working with white light energy. I work with positive energies. I don't dwell or work with any of the lower forms of energy. And animal spirits, Dave, this is what's so cool. Animal spirits are always of the light. They're never malevolent, and at least the ones I work with. I'm not out investigating as much as I would like, but in all my investigations, I have never come across a malevolent pet spirit. They've always been of the light, very, very highly evolved, spiritually advanced, beautiful, beautiful. I've never had a bad experience. And what you experienced there with your pets walking across the bed, and that is all so real. And I want those that are listening tonight that if you have an experience like that, please, please acknowledge it. Let the pet know that you saw them, felt them, sensed them, thank them, ask them to do it again if it doesn't creep you out. It doesn't creep me out. I love it when that happens. And invite them back. Tell them that they're welcome there, but be very specific about who you're inviting in and who you're welcoming in. But get excited. The animals tell me that when they make the effort to manifest, when they show up in the corner of our eye, when they walk across the bed, when they come to us in our dreams, and we discount that experience, it's like deflating their balloon. It's like letting all the air out. When we get excited and go, oh my gosh, I had the best experience. Oh my gosh, I felt them walk across the bed, and we love it, and we ask them to come back, you'll get more and more and more and more. But if you discount them making attempts to send you messages, they're going to stop doing it after a while. Because what fun is that? If you're not going to pay attention to them, they're not going to expend that energy and not get the benefit of your excitement or joy or love out of it. It doesn't mean they hate you. It doesn't mean they disappear. It doesn't mean they go away. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. It just means they're going to be less likely to do that again if you keep discounting it and saying, it's just my imagination. That's not real. They didn't do that. It didn't happen. They need that blast from you to do more of those types of visitations.
Gotcha. Karen Anderson is our guest tonight on Spaced Out Radio. Carl has a question. Human Carl is asking, do animal spirits reincarnate only to other animals, or can they come back as human?
That is a great question, Carl. And I go into all kinds of reincarnation stories in my books, but I will tell you that I can only speak from my experience. And as of today, I have conducted over 20,000 communication sessions over the last 23 years. So do the math. That's a lot every single year. So in my experience, I can only tell you my experience. I have found that animals generally come back and reincarnate. Not all animals reincarnate, they will generally come back the way that they were when they left here. So a dog will come back as a dog, cat will come back as a cat, horse come back as a horse, person come back as a person. However, I have also discovered in my almost 24 years of doing this work that there are no rule books out there about reincarnation. And if it's in the highest and best good for the animal soul to come back as human, if it's in the highest and best good for the human soul to come back as animal, anything can happen. There isn't somebody standing at the pearly gates with a checklist for reincarnation saying, you're human, sorry, you can't come back as a dog. That doesn't happen. So it's all about the highest and best for that particular soul. It's about the growth of the soul and what lessons they can learn coming back as either animal or human or whatever they choose. And I've seen a few of those, not many. I've seen a few where animals come back as human, vice versa. But the majority of the work I have done has been, if they were a dog, they come back as a dog. If they were a cat, they come back as a cat. And most cats don't want to come back as a dog. Oh, go figure, right? Go figure.
No kidding. All right. Marie is asking, Marie in California, do animals feel jealous like we do? Do our pets know and feel if we favor one over the others? I hide it well from my human kids, but not so much with the fur babies.
They do experience jealousy very much like we experience jealousy, but I will share a little side note to that. If you have a pet that is like your heart and soul pet, like you don't know what it is, but you're just like so much more closely bonded to one pet, you love them all, but there's just one that just totally melts your heart, captures you, and you just bond with more than others, there's a reason for that. And the reason is this. The two of you have had more past lives together than you have with the other pets that you have been with, that you love, but you just haven't quite bonded with as much. It's all about past life. Past lives are cumulative. Your experiences aren't remembered in the conscious mind, but your soul remembers, and your soul carries that forward. So imagine if you've reincarnated, or if you've been incarnation, if you've been in body, physical form with a particular pet through hundreds and hundreds of past lifetimes, you guys have history. Whereas if you bring a new animal into your life and you've only maybe had a couple of past lifetimes together, you still love that pet, but boy, oh boy, you can't even compare the amount of history that you have with that other pet. So that's why we feel favoritism, because of their past life coming forward. The animals sense it, they know it, and they can feel jealous about that. But I will say, I try to not humanize pets, because pets are not human, they're animals. And I try really hard to keep that separate. They do share some of our common traits. They feel stress, they feel anxiety, they feel pain, they feel joy, happiness, they smile, they cry. You know, they have similar feelings, but certainly on a different level. So keeping that all in mind, and keeping that, you know, that animals do have those similar feelings, absolutely, they can sense the jealousy. But pets are usually way more accepting than the human animal. Human animals, the human brain is usually not as accepting as pets are. Pets just want to adapt. They just want to live. They just want to live out their life. They don't want to be in pain. They don't want to be challenged. They just want to live their life to the fullest. That's all they want. That makes them happy.
Interesting. What about wild animals?
Did I answer that?
I think you did.
I kind of went off on...
What about wild animals? Because Marty is asking about squirrels.
Marty is asking about squirrels. What in the world? I don't talk to many squirrels. I do pets. I'm a pet psychic. I talk to cats, dogs, horses, some parrots. I've talked to a chinchilla. I've talked to snakes, a couple of turtles. I talked to a hedgehog one time that had an English accent. That was kind of weird. And a cat in Australia that corrected me when I said, your mom wants to send you love and see how you're doing. And the cat corrected me and says, it's mum, not mom, it's mum. So I got corrected by an Australian cat one time.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. Probably went for tea after, too. I don't talk to a
lot of wild animals. Nobody pays me to talk to wild animals. So guess where I put all my energy?
Well, I get that, and I can understand that. But you're telling me you don't go for a hike or a walk in the park, and all of a sudden a squirrel runs out in front of you and says, free bird, play free bird, or Epstein didn't kill himself, whatever it may be. You don't get that?
I have chatted with a few whales and a few, exotic creatures. Yes, I have. But generally speaking, my authority comes from pets. That's where I'm an expert. That's my expertise.
All right.
Pets.
All right. Brett, I had to ask, though, because that is fun. Brett is asking, do animals talk amongst themselves about us humans?
Not the way humans do. They share information. Like they share information with the other pet about the other pets in the household. So, for instance, if I have a session with someone that has multiple pets, sometimes the pet I'm communicating with will tell me something about one of the other pets or one of the other human family members. And it's kind of like shared information. It's kind of like sharing a memory. So it isn't like talking like what you and I are doing right now. It's not like that. It's more a sense of knowing that they kind of share an experience or they have that experience together. They don't sit there and have a conversation back and forth like, hey, Fluffy, did you see what Mom's wearing today? Oh my gosh, she should not wear that color. They don't do that. That's not what they do. If anything, it would be get out of my food bowl or, that's my toy. It would be more stuff like that than it would be, the way you and I would converse. It's different. They do communicate with each other, but not like in the movie, Dr. Dolittle with, I can't think of his name. It's not like that, where they have full-blown conversations with each other. Not like that.
All right, let's move on. Because Corinth is asking, what about like pet bearded dragons? What are they like?
I don't know. I have never communicated with a pet bearded dragon before. I've talked to snakes. I've talked to a couple of snakes.
Okay, what's it like dealing
dragon.
with? What's it like? Well, okay, that leads to another question from Brett. Then he's like, how do snakes feel? Do they feel about that they're getting a bad rap?
Oh, that's okay. I've got a really good answer for that. I was communicating with a snake one time, and I was not sure what to expect because I had never communicated with a snake. And she said something to me that was really kind of mind-boggling. She said, this thing you humans call fear is very strange. So totally threw me off balance. I didn't even know what to say to her. I found myself trying to explain to a snake that humans have a tendency to fear what they don't understand, and a lot of people don't understand snakes. I love snakes. I think snakes are cool as long as they're not poisonous and as long as they're not in my yard. I like snakes. And I said, humans will fear something, even other cultures that they don't understand. They'll shy away from it. So I found myself trying to explain to a snake why humans fear snakes. It was really weird.
We got less than 1 minute here, and we'll try and sneak in one more question. Vivian, the Vivster, is asking, have you ever communicated with a pet turtle? What do they talk like? What do they talk about?
Well, they don't have the accent like the turtle in Finding Nemo. I will tell you that. They don't sound like that. And they're very... turtles tend to be very particular about their environment, about what's going on around them. They seem to always kind of be self-protecting, self-protecting. Very aware of their environment, what's going on around them. And they have a sense of humor.
I could see that. I can see that. Because they know they're going to outlive us humans. The turtles always live forever. Turtles and sturgeon. That's what I want to come back as.
Parrots.
And parrots, too.
Sturgeon.
More Spaced Out Radio with psychic animal communicator Karen Anderson. Find her best-selling books on Amazon, at every major bookstore. More of your questions about animal communication. Starting off with Maureen when we get back on Spaced Out Radio. It's a good show so far, Karen Anderson. Good show.
Oh my God!
Hi there. This is the paranormal lawyer.
Questions here, and you have to realize that my puny little brain is usually asleep by now. So you got to bear with me. I have to formulate these answers.
You are doing great. I'm just going to step away, run my dogs outside again. I'll be right back. Okay.
And everything.
Oh, you're going to leave me alone with the people in chat?
Yeah, you go right ahead.
With myself, Michael W. Hall, the paranormal lawyer at spacedoutradio.com.
For the price of 1 cup of coffee a month, you can become an SOR Space Traveler. The Space Travelers Club is a place where you can interact with other listeners, either live during the show or on our great forum. We want your stories, pictures, comments, and ideas. You'll get live video streams, exclusive content, and be a part of our newsletter. Stay in touch with everything SOR. The Space Travelers Club is just $5 a month at spacedoutradio.com.
I'm feeling a little spicy tonight. What to do?
Why not get Bumblefuck?
4 million Scoville units of pure hard rock. Bumblefoot hot sauces come in 3 flavors. The burning Bumble. Tone it down a bit with Bumblicious and throw the sauce on everything.
Spice it up. Bumble me, baby. Bumblefoot hot sauce. Get it today at kajans.com.
The SOR Vault is open for business, and do we have some cool swag for you to pick up? All you have to do is head over to our website and click on the SOR Vault. You have a variety of cool logos to choose from, and put them on anything you want. T-shirts, hoodies, hats, coffee mugs, you name it, we can get it to you. So do your shopping by supporting the store you love. Get your Spaced Out Radio swag at the SOR Vault today.
The party is always on at the Moose Vancouver. The Moose Vancouver is where you want to be when visiting Canada's West Coast. Open until 2 a.m. nightly, the Moose cranks up the rock while serving some of the best rated food in the city. The menu starts at $6.95. Why party anywhere else in Vancouver when the Moose is right there? Get your horns up and rock with the Moose, the official party bar of Spaced Out Radio.
Hello, Space Travelers. It's me again, Carl. Don't forget to join the Space Travelers Club for just $5 a month and follow Spaced Out Radio on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio. Our Instagram, Dave Scott SOR. Our Facebook page is Spaced Out Radio Show. Our archives are free at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Come woo it up with Spaced Out Radio today. Bye!
Hello, this is your guitar man, Ron Bumblefoot Thal, and I have to tell you, I love the response I get for Little Brother is Watching from Spaced Out Radio fans. It's amazing how music can inspire and make people think deeper about what's going on in the supernatural world. You can head over to my website, bumblefoot.com, to check out my music, my guitar workshops, my touring, even check out some of the hot sauces that I'm working on. And make sure you keep on listening, because with Spaced Out Radio, you know Little Brother is watching.
We all know on Spaced Out Radio we love a good beard and mustache, so why not take care of your facial hair with Mighty Moose Beard Oil? Made in Canada, we're taking care of beards and stashes around the world. We use 100% natural ingredients with our oils and balms to make your whiskers feel silky smooth. Use promo code SOR2019 at MightyMooseBeard.com today.
Hey, Space Travelers, this is John Resig, founder of the Chive and Chive Charities. If you know anything about our website, you know we like to do things a little differently. We're not some faceless organization collecting money for a nebulous cause. Our donor dollars go directly toward life-improving items. Then we give those items directly to an underdog who needs it most. To become a donor with Spaced Out Radio's official charity, Chive Charities, just go to chivecharities.org/donate.
So,
all right, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Mm-hmm. We got about 2.5 minutes. Doug left. He decided he's...
2.5.
Yeah, Doug's not in here anymore. He decided he's going upstairs.
Oh, he took off, huh? He's bored with Karen Anderson. He's like, on to the next.
Sometimes he only lasts about an hour. Usually he's looking pretty tired. It's bedtime. He's getting old. He's almost 10.
What kind of pupper dog is he?
He's a shepherd, German Shepherd, Lab, Rhodesian Ridgeback cross.
Oh, big dog.
Yeah, he's handsome. He knows he's handsome, too.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And Shadow, my other German Shepherd, he goes to bed with my son. That's his boy, and when the son goes to bed, Shadow goes to bed.
That was super cool.
I would totally get another German Shepherd. Totally. Great dogs.
I love them. They are super dogs.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They are fantastic.
Oh.
Fantastic dogs.
Moonstone just brought... They are. Moonstone just brought up a great question. A great question.
Oh, we got lots of great questions. We're going to fly through a bunch of these questions, and that'll take us right quickly to the bottom of the hour.
Bottom and then top is all we have left.
Only the bottom for you. Only to the bottom. We only got you for another 24 minutes. Now I got to find a question from Maureen. There it is. All right, I'm set up for what we're doing next. Go from there. All right.
God, I can't keep up with some.
I know.
These names are hard to type.
I know. I got it all covered for you. Hey, I want to say thank you to everybody who's given us a thumbs up tonight on Spaced Out Radio here on YouTube. Super Chat is open, and do a little shopping at our SOR Vault. Grab yourself some Spaced Out Radio swag. It's a great way to support what we do. Here comes our number 3 for you. Music is on.
Would you like to connect with us? Head to spacedoutradio.com for all your latest show info. Now, back to Dave Scott and SOR.
Here we go with hour number 3 of Spaced Out Radio tonight. I am your host, Dave Scott. Thank you so much for joining us. We say hello to everyone listening around North America and around the world, especially on our terrestrial affiliates across North America and on the digital side on TalkStream Live and Revolution Radio. Remember, you can check out all of our archives for free at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Just do me the favor, hit that subscribe button. The Desert Clam has set the password for tonight in the SOR Space Travelers Club. And where did it go? It disappeared. There it is. Snooperscope. Snooperscope is your password. Use it wisely, Space Travelers, as the Clam sets a password each and every night right here on Spaced Out Radio. Our website is spacedoutradio.com, where we have a plethora of features for you, including rocking out to Bumblefoot and reading up on Captain Shirk's SOR Newswire. Plus, you can follow us on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio and my personal handle at Dave Scott SOR. For the final time tonight, we introduce our guest, animal communication specialist, psychic, Karen Anderson, best-selling author, #1 selling author. You can find all her books in any major bookstore and on Amazon. I highly suggest you get them. Karen, Thank you so much for joining us, and we're going to continue with some audience questions here from our chat rooms. Maureen is asking, if an animal dies in a tragic manner, can they be stuck in that negative experience after death? If so, is there a way to release their spirit from that experience?
That is a fantastic question. And the answer I have for you is, well, some traumas are imprinted more so than others. Most of the time when a pet leaves its body, they are immediately catapulted, launched, transformed into pure love and pure contentment, and they do not carry any trauma with them. They leave everything earthly behind, traumas included. What they do pick up on is their human's trauma about their passing. So they're so in tune with us, they love us so much that they pick up on our stress. So if we obsess about how they died, or if they got, killed or whatever, things didn't end well, if we obsess about that, they pick up on our stress, not the trauma of how they died, but they pick up on our stress.
All right. Joe is asking, has a pet ever told you something bad was about to happen in the household, or something bad is happening in the household?
Yes. And I'll share. That's a great question. And God, you guys in chat have the best questions. You're making my head spin around. Your questions are so good. Usually I don't get good questions like this. Love your chats. Okay, here's what happened. I was live on a radio show, and this is like way back. I can't even tell you how many decades ago this was. It was a long time. And live radio, I was communicating with a dog right there on the radio. I don't do that anymore because I'm too old. But it was a German Shepherd, Dave. And I will never forget it because I was literally in a really bad spot and I didn't know what to do. So I'm communicating with the dog, and the dog kept showing me a brain exploding, a human brain exploding.
Ew.
And and it wasn't like, blood and guts real life. It was more like almost like an animated kind of thing. Like it wasn't as if it was truly happening, but I could see like an outlet, like an X-ray. That's a good description. It was like an X-ray. So I didn't see like red blood, but I saw like an X-ray of a head, a brain kind of exploding. So his human owner was on the air with me and was asking questions about his dog, and is he happy, and does he like his food, or I don't remember what he was asking me. And this dog wasn't answering those questions. This dog just kept talking about this brain thing. So I'm on live radio. What am I going to do, right? The guy's waiting for an answer, and I'm seeing all this other stuff that's like really not good. So what do? I mean, you're in a pickle, right? So what I came up with is I said to this particular gentleman on the air, I said, I would really like to circle back with you after the radio show because there's some information that's coming through that is really important, and I'd rather share that with you privately. So if you would circle back with me, that would be great. So I got out of that, and the gentleman circled back with me after the show, and I told him what I saw. I said, I'm seeing something that looks like somebody is having a issue with their head or their brain or something on the head, and it looks like a female. And he's like, nope, I don't know what to tell you. There's nobody in my family is having any problems, nothing. I got nothing for you. You're crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. You're not all that in a bag of chips, Karen Anderson. And I was like, okay, well, I can only share with you what I'm seeing, and I don't know what it all means. I just have to share with you what I'm seeing. Well, a couple days later, the host of the radio show contacted me and said that gentleman's mother had a brain aneurysm and died.
Oh, my goodness. That's hitting close to home.
And he was so, like, blown away. The host was so blown away because the guy that got the reading told him what happened and that I was so incredibly accurate and how mean he was to me because he said I didn't know what I was talking about and he felt really bad about that. But yeah. So, yeah, but they don't send bad things in a way to like scare us. It's more just informative, like out of concern. It's more like a worry. I get animals that are worried about their humans' health. I get pets that tell me about their human's heart, having heart issues. I've had them tell me all kinds of things. Somebody one time connected with me. God, I can't even talk anymore. I get so excited. I can't stand it. Okay. So one time a client contacted me to connect with her deceased dog or cat, can't remember. And I kept seeing an insulin bottle, a bottle of insulin. So nothing else connected to it. I didn't know what the message was. I didn't know, I said, what does this mean to you? I'm seeing a bottle of insulin. And she's like, I don't know. My father is diabetic, but he's good. He's healthy. He's doing good. Well, apparently, a couple weeks later, or maybe a month or so later, I don't remember the time frame. This was a long time ago. Something went wrong, and he either got the wrong kind of insulin or went into diabetic shock or something insulin related, and he almost died. He didn't. He almost died. But see, the animal couldn't tell me that. The animal could only show me something, the insulin bottle, to get me to talk about it, to share their concern. So you see, they're limited. There's a limit as to what they can share, what my puny little brain can absorb, because they can't always describe big issues like that. Sometimes they just flash an image, and I'm supposed to figure it out from just one little image. And it's a lot like playing charades. You get a little piece of this and a little piece of that, and you're supposed to connect the dots and put it all together. So it's really a group effort. You're on the phone with me. I'm giving you the information. You're telling me what it means to you, and we're all working together to try to figure it out sometimes.
Got it.
Wow, that was really long.
Well, I
got really long-winded there.
That's okay. Let's continue on here with the audience questions. Middle child is asking, do animals speak the language from the country or the family they are with or from?
So I think I understand that to mean, so if they're from
So if they're from an Italian, is that the language you're communicating with them? Or let's say in California, there's a high concentration of Mexican people. All right. And Spanish people.
Gotcha.
And so would the animal speak Spanish there or communicate with you in English?
Gotcha. Okay. So to answer that question, I'll tell you a little story. I got a little story for you. So when I first started out in this business, I had a very well-to-do horse owner from Germany contact me, and she said she had this very expensive show horse that she was having problems with. He wasn't doing well in the ring, where he had been winning, blue ribbon, and lately he had been really not doing anything, wasn't doing what he was supposed to do, and they wanted me to figure out what was wrong with him. So she said, he's been born in Germany, raised in Germany, trained in Germany. We only speak German around him. Are you going to be able to communicate with him? I said, I have no idea. Let's find out. So I connected with him, and every single message came through very clearly in my own voice, in my own head, in English, perfectly clear. I understood the horse understood me. It turned out that there was a impacted tooth. He had like a equivalent of like if he had a wisdom tooth that was impacted, and it was causing him severe pain. And the vets had missed it for whatever reason. So every time they put pressure on his mouth with the bit, the horse would, go crazy because it hurt. So that was why he was being so bad in the show ring. So to answer your question, animals will send messages to me in a way that I will understand them, but it goes through a filtration process. And I won't get too technical here because then you guys are all going to think I'm really nuts. But I work very closely with my spirit guides. Yes, those invisible little helpers that float around us and help us throughout our lives. My spirit guides, my spirit team, they actually go out and get the animal energy for me, bring it to me, and they help with the translation process. So like in this case with this horse from Germany, obviously there's a translation barrier. I don't speak German. I know some cuss words in German, but that's about it. So my spirit team will make sure that the messages come through to me in a way that I understand them. Just like one time I had a client in Japan with a lost cat. Cat only knew Japanese, only lived in Japan, wasn't around anyone who spoke English. I didn't know if I could communicate with this cat or find the cat. No problems. Messages came through in English. I spoke to the cat in English. Everyone understood each other. Problem solved. Cat was found a couple blocks away. So do they speak the language they come from? I think if you got in a German animal communicator, the German animal communicator could have spoke German to the horse and the horse would have understood it. I don't think it has so much to do with the individual animal. I think it just has to do with how our spirit teams and those of us who are in the energy field and work closely with our spirit guides receive information through that filtration system.
Got it. Julie is asking, do you ever meet someone who is surrounded by animals in spirit?
Yes, and it looks like that Verizon commercial where they have that whole big crowd following the one guy around. You know which one I'm talking about?
I'm Canadian. I don't get those American commercials. I know.
Okay, well,
I know.
there's this commercial.
Just throw that one to the wind, right? Blame Canada.
Oh, you guys up there. I'm so close to you. I'm like 100 miles south. You could probably throw a rock and hit me.
Well, if you're in Saskatchewan or near Saskatchewan, just look up and you'll see the residents of Saskatchewan waving. It's so flat up there.
All right. I'll wave back. So, did I answer that one?
No.
What was the question again?
Have you ever met a person that is surrounded by spirit animals?
Oh, yes, all the time. Now, remember, when I see, well, you wouldn't remember because I haven't told you yet. So when I see an animal, sometimes they manifest in partial form. Sometimes I'll just see like an image or an outline of them. Sometimes I'll just see their eyes. Sometimes I get like a wispy, willowy kind of, paranormally looking kind of thing that you catch on a Polaroid. And other times I'll see them almost fully manifested. However, I will tell you that animals don't feel the need to fully manifest. That's not really an animal trait. They're way smarter and they conserve their fuel and their energy. So unless there's something really major going on or they really need to be seen or heard, they're going to conserve their fuel and their energy, and they're not going to fully manifest. I'm only going to get a partial image or partial. But yes, I can see and sense and feel the animals' energies around people.
Susan is asking, why do all stray cats always find my daughter to feed them? Every time she moves, she picks up more cats.
I have that same quality. There's like a giant flashing neon sign over our heads that alerts to all cats that says, this person will help you. It's the energy field. It's the energy she puts out. Cats are very in tune with the electromagnetic field of the earth, and people who are very grounded, people who are very cat-loving, people who are very centered, people who are nurturers, they set off like this aura, if you will, and cats can pick up on that. It's just an energy field. just like if, you stand too close to the microwave when it's running, you can pick up on all that crazy energy around it. Same thing. Cats can pick up on that.
Interesting. Very interesting. Let's go over to Twitter where Greco has a question. Do your pets have an opinion on the dates you bring them home? Or on the dates you bring? So if you go out on a date, and I don't know if you're taken or not, that's really none of our business. But let's say you go out on a date and you're single. Maybe not you, but anybody out there. Do the pets have an opinion? Should we be watching their reaction to the people we introduce to our household?
Can I cuss?
No.
Okay. Yes, absolutely. Yes, you should be paying attention to, if your pet doesn't like someone, pay attention. Pay big time attention.
What if it's a cat, though, and the cat just hates everybody?
Well, they are very in tune. They are way more in tune than we are. So consider them to be your little a barometer. They're a barometer. If the barometer is giving you good indicators, then everything's good. If you're getting, red for stop and do not pass go and collect $200, then don't.
Good answer. Good answer. We've got about 3.5 minutes left with you tonight. I want to get another audience question in here. Susan is asking, do animals have spirit people following them around?
Yes. Yes. There are a bunch of crazy cat ladies up there in Heaven Land or Afterlife Land or Other Side Land, whatever you want to call it. Yes. And there are actual spirits that greet and welcome and take in all the stray animals. So for those animal lovers out there that are wondering, what happens to all the pets that die in shelters, that don't have a family, that, are homeless and all of that, or that, have been abused or mistreated or, all of the horrible things that go on, I want you to know that there is always somebody there to greet every single animal spirit when it makes its transition. There are no animals floating around in the cosmos that are lost. They all are welcomed. They are all immediately taken in, filled with love, safe, surrounded by spirit loved ones, animal lovers. I'll be one of them. I'll be one of those on the other side that is like welcoming all those animals over. So do not worry. We only have to worry about the pets that are here, that are in pain, that are struggling, that are hurting, that are, in the wrong home, being mistreated. We need to worry about those animals, but not the ones on the other side.
One final question for you, as we got under 2 minutes here. Moonstone is asking, Karen, how do pets feel about us when we have to euthanize them?
Oh, you've given me 2 minutes?
I
really?
know. I just noticed the question.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. Euthanasia. This is huge. I write about it. Get my books. Read my books. But in a nutshell, I will tell you, your pets are trusting you to manage them and help them leave this earth the same way they came in, with love and dignity. Make sure you do that. They do not hold you in contempt. They see it as truly a gift and a blessing that you help them leave a body that is failing them.
That's probably the best way to put it. And we'll leave it right at there. Tell everybody where they can find your books and about your website.
Well, why don't they all just come over and we'll just hang out?
It is late. It is late.
Okay. All right. My website, it's really hard. KarenAnderson.net.
There you go.
Really hard.
Boom.
That's the best way to reach. I'm on Facebook. Find me on Facebook. I don't know how to tweet. I'm Twitter challenged. I'm a bad tweeter. But I'm on Facebook. Send me an email. Go to my website. There's a Contact Karen page. Send me an email. Order my books. Tell me if you love it. Tell me if you hate it. I'm writing the next one, so your feedback matters to me. I'd love to hear from you. If you have anything else I can help you with, I don't like doing sales pitches. So for those of you who love me, I'm here for you. For those of you who think I'm butt-ass nuts, that's okay. I know. I'm really okay with that. But thank you so much.
Oh, we love you.
For having me here tonight.
We will do it again a lot sooner than 3 years, my friend. A lot sooner than 3 years. You stay beautiful. You stay awesome in doing the work that you do, and we appreciate your time. Coming up next, we have the SOR Newswire and the Thought of the Day. Stay tuned on Spaced Out Radio. That was an awesome show. Everybody give Karen a round of applause for this. That was good stuff. We hit a home run with this one. We hit a home run.
You guys are awesome. Thank you for listening to me babble. Thank you so much. And Dave, let's do this again. Let's not wait 3 years, okay?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We will, maybe by the end of the year, we can, squeeze out a date. How about that?
Okay.
Would you go on a Spaced Out Radio date with us, all of us?
Hell yeah. Yeah, count me in.
Awesome. Well, we love you. Thank you so much.
Adios, amigos. Love you all. I'm out of here. You guys have a great one. And I really appreciate this, Dave. Thank you.
All right. Make sure you watch the chat room because everybody's going to be clapping for you here momentarily. There it is. There it is.
Oh, look at all the claps.
Uh-huh.
Woo-hoo.
We love you. Look at all that.
Thank you.
Look at all that.
Woo.
All right.
Yay.
Much love. Take care, Karen.
Okay. Nighty.
Good night. Does she not have like the greatest personality ever? Like she's somebody you could totally like share a beer with on a patio or a glass of wine and just kind of hang out and talk about weird shit. You know what I'm saying? How much do we love Karen Anderson around here? Hi, beautiful Teresa. All right. Renee, you still didn't give me a wolf update. I'm pissed off with that. Let's see here. There's 7 stories. We need one more. Oh, that's a good one there, too. Captain Shirk really put together some awesome news tonight. Awesome news. Hey, Darcy, how you doing? Karen, I know you're still listening. All right, because I know you're in the chat room and you probably turned the volume up now. You're allowed to come hang out with us anytime because we are here Monday through Friday each night. You can hang out. I know you go to bed early, okay? I know you do. But come hang out with us. Hey, Brutus, what's happening? We got some good, weird stories tonight. Good, weird stories. Let's get rid of that one. There we go. Now I'm good. Yes, we can adopt Karen. But we're not spaying her. Because that would be cruel. I'm just saying. I've got the news ready. See what's happening in the chat rooms here. Do. Hi, Susan B. BG's. Good night. Yeah, this was a fun show. Fun show. Hi, redheaded Lisa. Hope you're feeling better. Hope you're feeling better, redheaded Lisa. That was a fun show. Very fun. Hi, Raul. Welcome to Spaced Out Radio. Appreciate that. Or is it Julia? Or is it Yulia? Julia? Julia? Damn it, now that's going to bother me. Now that's going to bother me. We'll get it figured out. We got 1 minute, people. 1 minute. Excuse me. That came out of nowhere. Can we get to 60 likes tonight? Can we get to 60? 61? I have a goal of 61 likes tonight. If you don't mind, we'd appreciate that. When am I going to have Deep Prasad on the show? I don't know. I don't know.
Feel silky smooth. Use promo code SOR2019 at MightyMooseBeard.com today.
Here we go, guys. Let's take this thing home, shall we? Oh, there's 62 likes. We passed it. Very nice. Thank you. We've rounded third. We're heading for home tonight on Spaced Out Radio. I am your host, Dave Scott. Hair down, chilled out, relaxed, and ready to hang out with you a little bit more at SOR headquarters. I want to remind you that if you missed most of this show or others, you could check out our free archives at youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio. Just do me the favor, hit that subscribe button. Our website is spacedoutradio.com, where we have a plethora of features for you, including rocking out to Bumblefoot and reading out on Captain Shirk's SOR Newswire and so much more. Remember, you can follow us on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio, as well as my personal handle at Dave Scott SOR. Speaking of the news, let's do this thing. And this is how it ends. The news is always changing, which is why we bring you the SOR Newswire at the back end of every show, where we get to the weird, the strange, the wacky, and sometimes those stories that just make no sense. Like this one. Arrest warrants have been issued in southern Florida for 2 NFL players, New York Giants cornerback DeAndre Baker and Seattle Seahawks corner Quinton Dunbar, in connection to an armed robbery investigation. According to Miramar Police, Baker's arrest warrant is for 4 counts of armed robbery with a firearm and 4 counts of aggravated assault with a firearm. Dunbar is wanted on 4 counts of armed robbery with a firearm. Now, the alleged incident took place late Wednesday night at a party that began Wednesday evening. According to the arrest warrant, Baker and Dunbar are accused of stealing money and watches with force while armed with semi-automatic firearms. It states that Baker intentionally threatened victims with the firearm. According to the arrest warrant, multiple witnesses said at one point during the incident, Baker ordered another suspect wearing a red mask to shoot an individual who was just entering the party. The warrant includes conflicting accounts from witnesses as to whether Dunbar was armed, with some saying they didn't see a gun in his possession. The NFL said Thursday that it was aware of the matter and would have no further comment at this time. The league will review the incident under its personal conduct policy and hand out discipline if warranted. The 22-year-old Baker was a first-round draft pick of the New York Giants in 2019. The Seahawks acquired 27-year-old Dunbar in a March trade with the Washington Redskins and introduced him to reporters on a video call this week. Both players are from Miami. We are aware of the situation. We have been in contact with DeAndre. We have no further comment at this time, the Giants said in a statement. The Giants actually traded up to select Baker with the 30th pick in the first round of last year's draft. He was benched for effort and performance late in his rocky first season, and the coaching staff had trust issues with him. You know what? This kid Dunbar, he signed a $16 million contract. Right? Or $10 million contract. What the hell is he doing holding up people? He's got a college education. Yes, he played football. And now he's being an idiot and going to jail, ruining his NFL career. Same as, that was Baker, pardon me. Dunbar just signed a $3.25 million base salary with the Seahawks. How dumb do you have to be? It is a privilege and not a right to play in the NFL or any professional sport. And to give it all away for a thug life? It's garbage. Terrible. Bad example. I doubt these guys will be back, especially if they get thrown in jail. Their careers are over. Too bad. What a waste of talent and money. The Pentagon has released new information about a series of fascinating encounters between U.S. Navy pilots and UFOs. The hazard reports include details about the size and shape of the unidentified aerial phenomena. The unknown aircraft appeared to be small in size, approximately the size of a suitcase, and silver in color, reads a report describing a 2014 incident. At the time, the Navy aircraft passed within 1,000 feet of the object, but was unable to positively determine the identity of the aircraft. A different report in 2013 described another object that had approximately 5-foot wingspan and was colored white with no distinguishable features. Due to the small size, the aircraft was determined to be unidentified. The report noted that the objects could be drones, although no nearby operators could be identified. The news comes after a series of videos surfaced in 2017 by the New York Times. The 3 videos, which were owned by the United States Navy, showed strange objects zipping across the surface of the ocean while appearing to shoot up into the sky without any apparent methods of propulsion. Last month, the Pentagon formally released these unclassified videos, noting that after a thorough review, the department has determined that the authorized release of the unclassified videos does not reveal any sensitive capabilities or systems. The Defense Department is releasing the videos in order to clear up any misconceptions by the public on whether or not the footage that has been circulating was real or whether there was more to the video, said Sue Goff, the Defense Department spokesperson. The aerial phenomena observed on the videos remain characterized unidentified. All right. The Pentagon, sticking in D.C., has cutting-edge research and development arm working to develop autonomous fleets of small satellites. Project Blackjack is developing swarms of small satellites that could replace the large, expensive satellites that support U.S. military activities worldwide. Another effort, Pit Boss, will create the autonomous mission management system that helps keep the constellation running and the data flowing into the hands of troops, all without human interaction. One of the most innovative new space technologies in recent years is the idea to mesh networks, orbiting networks of small, inexpensive satellites. The networks are designed to cover an entire region or planet with satellites that can communicate not just with ground stations, but also one another. The satellites within the new network bounce data from one to another instead of to the ground, making for a shorter overall travel distance. The system is also capable of self-adjusting to maintain coverage if one of the satellites goes down. Project Blackjack takes a cue from the civilian space sector, particularly SpaceX's Starlink. Starlink envisions blanking the low orbit Earth with thousands of cheap communication satellites capable of providing internet access to any point in Earth, much to the annoyance of some astronomers. I still want to see it. Totally want to see it. Is your dog like a moody teenager? Well, a new study from a group in the United Kingdom universities suggests that dogs do act similarly to human teenagers when they reach puberty. Although none of the dogs were actually caught breaking curfew, cursing, or smoking in the bathroom, they are more likely to ignore their owners and they become harder to train. The researchers examined 69 dogs before adolescence at 5 months old and then at puberty at 8 months old. However, the dogs only acted this way around their owners and were much more well behaved with strangers, researchers found. That's the dog version of taking it out on your mom, Naomi Harvey, a zoologist, stated. What we found is evidence that dogs do show a period of reduced obedience towards their owners, and this is specific to their owners, not to other people. It is associated with all the issues going on inside the dog during puberty. The hormonal fluctuations and the remodeling of the brain to become an adult brain cause a lot of issues, she said. The disobedience does not last forever, though. According to the findings, once the dog hits puberty, they tended to respond better to commands from their owners. We would suggest people remain consistent and use rewards rather than punishing their dog. It is important to remember it is not the dog deliberately behaving badly, it's just their biology, Lucy Asher says, as she is an animal behavior scientist. In general, we'd ask owners to be kind to their dog during this time and understand it's just a passing phase. Washington State is planning an attack against giant Asian moths. A warning of an imminent danger. What's with Washington State? Last week it was the murder hornets. This week it's Asian moths. Yeah, apparently there's an imminent danger of an infestation that's been issued in areas northeast of Seattle after officials spotted the first ever Asia native Hokkaido gypsy moth in the United States. What makes these moths so dangerous is their ability to fly up to 20 miles, allowing them to feast on a broader range of host plants. The moths are said to be aggressive defoliators that feed off of 500 different types of host trees, which in turn weakens vegetation and makes them more susceptible to diseases. The Washington Department of Agriculture issued a statement regarding the invasion of moths. The imminent danger of infestation seriously endangers the agriculture and horticulture industries of Washington State and seriously threatens the economic well-being and quality of life of state residents. The Asian gypsy moths are said to be aggressive defoliators, and the defoliation can weaken several vegetation species, making them more vulnerable to disease, according to the United States Department of Agriculture. If they would become established here, they could cause serious, widespread damage to the country's landscape and natural resources. That is one powerful moth. AGMs are similar to the European gypsy moth found in the northeastern United States, but have a much broader host range. Female moths can grow up to 3.5 inches long and lay up to 500 eggs at a time. Yeah, hundreds of brightly colored hair caterpillars hatch. They create widespread damage to the environment. So look out for them if you're in Washington State. Bring the bug spray. A South Carolina restaurant, partially reopening for dine-in customers, is keeping the tables compliant with social distancing guidelines by filling their dining room with blow-up dolls. The Open Heart restaurant in Taylor's closed its dining room due to the COVID-19 pandemic back on March 17th. and was allowed to reopen this week with a reduced capacity and a requirement that customers were seated 6 feet apart. The owner of the eatery, Paula Star Melise, and her husband Jimmy said they didn't want the restaurant to look empty when customers came to eat. Instead of using scary yellow tape or roping off the empty tables, I thought, we're going to make this restaurant look full. So Melise ordered a bunch of G-rated inflatable dolls from Amazon, dressed them up like customers, and seated them at tables that would be off limits to diners. My grandson told me they look kind of creepy, she said, but I think when people walk in, they're going to laugh. The owner of the restaurant says they're being careful to observe all of the state guidelines to remain open to customers. We're doing everything we can to make sure we do this right. We just don't want the virus to shut us down again. Let's move on. A bull, attempting to alleviate an itchy bum, used a utility pole because he couldn't get his horns to reach around, and he ended up knocking out the electricity to more than 700 homes in a Scottish town. Hazel Lawton posted a picture of an apology to her local Facebook group after her 4-year-old bull, Ron, rubbed up against the utility pole and ended up knocking the transformer box to the ground. Our bull, Ron, would like to apologize to everyone in Chapelton and Strathaven for causing last night's power cut to over 700 homes, she wrote. He had an itchy bum, so he scratched it on the electricity pole and knocked the transformer box off. She said Ron is happy to be alive and managing to avoid an 11,000 volt shock from the fallen transformer box. Lawton, who runs the East Shottonville farm with her husband, said the local utility company restored the power a few hours later. And finally, you got to be nuts to try this. A British charity is seeking volunteers, and I'm not doing this. No way. They're seeking volunteers to walk barefoot over Lego bricks to raise money for children with disabilities. Codwell Children, a charity providing practical and emotional support to children with disabilities and their families, said it is seeking volunteers to participate from their own homes in the May 31st Lego Walk. The charity teamed up with Group UK Firewalks to create pre-recorded instructional videos to show volunteers how to safely walk across a pile of Lego bricks. BS! There is no safe way to walk on Legos. Okay? None. Crazy talk there. Nearly everyone has had that experience of standing on a little plastic block of Lego, and it can really hurt, said Kate McMahon. Tell us the obvious, Kate. So we've enlisted the support of UK Firewalks experts in creating mind over matter experiences where people can use their willpower to overcome physical obstacles to create a rubriculous, oh, that's terrible pun, Kate, fun event for the whole family. I don't like this, Kate, using bad puns and then saying that Lego can really hurt. She's way too obvious. Way too obvious. Yeah. I bet you she doesn't even put cream in her coffee. The event is expected to be live streamed on Codwell Children's website, and a private Facebook group will be created for participants to share tips and cheer on one another. Oh. Dumb. I would just donate the money. Save your feet, people. Save your feet. It's good clown tonight, Marty. Solid clowning there tonight. It's kind of gorgeous, too. Thought of the Day happens every night at this time, where we ask a question on our Facebook and Twitter pages, then read your responses on the air because we love the audience participation around here. Today's Thought of the Day is as follows. By the way, hi, Lulu. Thank you for listening for the first time tonight. What's my question for the day? Oh, there it is. Why do you enjoy the paranormal, supernatural, and cryptid and UFO fields? Mr. Skeptic, I'm in it for the kicks. Marty, I love a good mystery and don't always believe the standard answers for things. The paranormal, supernatural, UFO, and especially the cryptids are areas where the lines between what we know and don't are blurry. That's what makes it fun. Canadian Joe, partly because of the mystery surrounding these fields of interest, you can't prove everything, but you can't disprove everything either. Nathan, it gives me hope that there is more out there than just what we have. Shanna Banana, because I love the strange and unusual. To quote John Tenney, what you think is weirder than what you think. I'm here for it, so let's get weird. Graham, anything extraterrestrial is my field, Dave, my good friend. One, curiosity. Even though I am skeptical and agnostic, I have so much curiosity about the world simply because the universe has a knack for surprising us. Judith, I enjoy it because from my experiences, I know there is more out there that we do not know about. But every once in a while, things pop through and shows us there is much more around us than what we know. Keep looking. Debbie, who just followed us on Twitter today, I had an experience, saw a UFO, I've seen and heard shadow people, had a vision of blood running down my son's face that came to happen 3 days later, and while driving to see my mother in the hospital, a giant bird hovered over my car, then disappeared. My mother didn't survive. Oh, that's kind of creepy. All right, let's continue on. Gabe, I guess I'm kind of that sick person. John, I'm always up for a good mystery. While science can explain a lot of things, I don't believe it can explain everything. I'm a believer in keeping an open mind. Aaron, I'm not really sure. I'm fascinated by all things I don't understand. Death, aliens, cryptids, all of it. And I think more so with these things because I have had experiences that I cannot explain with all of them, so I need to know more. Jack, who isn't intrigued by mysteries? Tom, a sense of wonder. William, because where there are questions, there are answers. Even if the answers are generations away, I also cannot turn down a good mystery. Kevin, paranormal creatures don't wear pants. Joyce, because those topics bring together some of the world's greatest people. Stephen, same reason people believe in religions, UFOs, etc. It's my religion. Wendy, no enjoyment, was born into this mess. Penman, I can't say that I truly enjoy the paranormal, supernatural, cryptid, and UFO fields. I am searching for answers to questions I have about them. I do find the interviews very interesting. Brian, you never know what tomorrow will bring. Captain, because they are part of a great unknown. Search for answers and solutions to the unknowns is fascinating and challenging. Byron, because I'm a contactee. Alex, turning the unknown into something slightly more known. David, the cutting edge of human knowledge and experience is very exciting, or to put one word out there, curiosity. Leon, because there is a lot more to history than we are told or is even written about. It can only be explained by things currently considered wacky and outside the box. And right there, I think that's where we're going to leave. Actually, we'll get to Robert. So final comment, Robert. The emerging scientific research shows that aesthetic experiences are associated with unexplained phenomena. Experiencing an aesthetic response after encountering a non-arts object or event, such as a UFO or apparition, brings together understandings about neural connectivity and neural aesthetics. Encounters with anomalous phenomena evoke intense feelings. We're going to leave it right there. Thank you for everybody participating in the Thought of the Day. We will do it all again tomorrow because we can on Facebook and Twitter. So make sure you join us for that. I want to read your response on the air. And thank you to Captain Shirk for putting together some great news. You can find it all at the SOR Newswire on Facebook and on our website as well. Give the captain a big clap, too, because she works hard for us every single day. And to Karen Anderson, talking about animal communication tonight. We love Karen. KarenAnderson.net. We got Mr. Ron Bumblefoot Thal rocking in the background with Little Brother Is Watching. Bumblefoot is the official music of Spaced Out Radio, rocking us in and out of every single show. Get your horns up for the guitar god himself. Thank you to everybody participating in our chat rooms tonight on Spreaker, YouTube, LGAB, Revolution Radio, Facebook, the Space Travelers Club on our website, and on Twitter at hashtag Spaced Out Radio. Special thanks to everybody at home, in your cars, at work, wherever you may be. And please remember, this show is copyright by Spaced Out Radio and SOR Media Ventures Limited.
I know you're out there somewhere.
thank you so much for sharing your evening with us tonight. We had a lot of fun together because together, my friends, guess what?
Make a mistake. We're watching.
We own the night. Mr. Bumblefoot. We need a favor. We need you to take us home. Have a great night, everybody. Remember, your ticket never expires on this Woo train. Your seat is always available. And we're ready to ride again tomorrow night. We'll see you on the Woo train. Good night. That's a good show, people. Good show, everybody. You guys did well tonight. You did very well tonight. Take a doff of the cap, people. You did very well. You did very well. You did very, very well, people. Very, very well. Oh, headphones are off. Yes. Woo, woo. The Woo Train. I can't wait to get Woo Train t-shirts. I really can't. It's going to be a blast. What the hell is this? Oh, my Siri went off. I don't know. Yes, all right, let's download this bad boy. I know you out there somewhere. Ow. Watching me. Hey, 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 hey. Yes, tomorrow night, the Ascension Sessions on YouTube, 7:30 to 8:30 on YouTube channel, Ascension Sessions. Sherry and I, we're dropping the gloves on the Woo. So, this is specific Woo, though. This is completely Dave Woo. Tomorrow night. Cherie, not Sherry. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Sandra. Oh. Oh. Yeah, who wants to braid my hair for me? Who wants to brush it? Taking volunteers. Who wants to brush Davey's hair tonight? I swear the camera went down again. What the hell? Don't mind me. There we go. Let's see how that works. Hold on. Let me go to the other screen here. Yeah, that's better. That's better. That's better. Oh, my goodness. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Oh, now I can go back to this screen. Oh, Moonstone wants to braid. Susan B. PBR wants to braid my hair. It's kind of weird and awkward, but I'll let him. I used to love her, but I had to kill her. I love that song. Good tune. Guns N' Roses always plays that song after the in the encore. That's when they play that song. I think I've only seen it once where it hasn't been played in the encore. Then they go into Patience, and then Knocking on Heaven's Door. Sometimes they go into a whole lot of Rosie too. And then they finish it off with Paradise City. Oh, fuck yeah. Dave, how do we get birthday presents to you? Hit me up on a private message and I'll send you the address. You don't have to send me anything, man. I appreciate it, but you don't have to send me anything. Ascension. ASCENSION. Sessions. I used to love her, but I had to kill her. I used to love her, ooh yeah, but I had to kill her. I had to put her 6 feet under. I can still hear her complain. My biggest fear in life is that my former mother-in-law is going to come haunt the fuck out of me when I die, or when she dies. Peanut butter rolls. Peanut butter rolls. Peanut butter rolls. Oh, yeah. Peanut butter rolls. Peanut butter rolls. Oh, peanut butter rolls. For fuck's sakes, shut the hell up, Dave. How's that, peanut butter rolls? Got a song for you there. Justin, we do not allow booing of Guns N' Roses in this room. Look, there are certain things that I will put up with. You can insult me. You can call me fat. Tell me I have a face for radio. Complain about my dog farting in my office here and blowing out the whole room. But dude, I got to draw the line on Guns N' Roses song. Yeah. I mean, come on, man. Come on. You're better than this. You're a better human being than this. Justin. Hi, Susie. How's beautiful Susie tonight? All right, let's do this thing. I had to put her 6 feet under, and I can still hear her complain. There are over 30 peeps in here who haven't given Dave a thumbs up. Well, right now we're at like 67 likes and 61 concurrent viewers. That's kind of cool. Hey, Zoinks. I have come to mess with my dad. Who's your dad? Who's your daddy? Mm-hmm. You should always listen to your papa, man. Should always listen to your papa. Unless he tells you to play soccer and you don't want to play soccer because you want to grow up and have a good life. Hi, Nikki. How you doing? Hold on. Did PBR say whether they liked my song or not? Dave is tired. Oh, Dave is tired. Dave is always tired, man. Dave is tired. Now, the funny part about it is Leon, who comes in here, my good buddy Leon, who's been in the chat room the last few nights, that's actually my boss, too. My really awesome boss and best friend. Yeah, he's my boss. He's like the owner of the place I work at, of the financing place I work at. He is friggin' awesome. So make sure you show Leon some mad love and respect. Okay, so number 2. What did I do here? Did I screw this? No, hold on. No, I'm right. I'm right. Sorry, I just had to pay attention for a quick second here. Paste. Yeah, Leon's my boss. Oh, concussions suck. Concussions suck. I've had a couple of those. They are not fun. I remember one time I was like 15 years old. I was playing hockey. Dave needs ginseng root for stamina. How did you know? No, I'm teasing. I was playing hockey when I was 15, and their defenseman cuts behind the net, and I'm coming on the other side, and he's got his head down, and I figure I am just going to hammer this guy. And I lowered my shoulder to body check him, and I was just going to take his fucking head off. And at the last second, he picked up his head, and he raised his elbow and caught me right here. I wasn't even wearing a mouthpiece at that time, and my jaw just went bang, and everything went black. I broke my nose, and I was out of it. My mouth was bleeding because I had braces on, and no, I didn't have braces at that time, or did I? No, that tooth there, right there, was split in half. So I only got half. Like, that's a real tooth, but literally I only got half a tooth. The front survived, the back didn't. So that was kind of cool. Yeah, that was insane. I was out. And like, I remember literally walking in my bedroom, and I had a water bed back then. Okay, hands up if you had a water bed. Okay, I had a water bed back then. And literally, I totally recall getting vertigo where I would just, all of a sudden, everything would start spinning and I'd fall down. But back then, we knew nothing about really concussions. You just got your bell rung. So I think I've had about 2 or 3 that I know of. There may be more that I don't know of. Yeah, I'm sure there's a few more in there. But concussions suck. They really do. I'm sorry you're going through that. Hi, beautiful Teresa. I've actually met Teresa before. Melinda Leslie. Hi, Melinda Leslie. How are you, beautiful? I've met Melinda Leslie before. I've met Nikki in here before. Who else have I met in here? Oh, God bless Melinda Leslie for coming on in. I love Melinda Leslie. She's so awesome. Yes, I met Teresa in Washington. I've met Teresa twice in Washington State at Forest Moon Paracon. She came up from California. And then I met her in San Francisco in 2018. And then she was going to try and make it down to San Francisco or up to San Francisco this year, but she just couldn't make it, unfortunately. And I missed her. I cried. I literally stood in front of the hotel with a big Teresa sign, and she didn't come. I've met Nikki, I think, twice. Nikki, have I met you twice now? Twice or three times? My beautiful friend, Melinda Leslie, I've got to meet her twice. I'm so excited that she's here right now. Melinda, did you finish your conversation with Science Bob tonight? Because I was on the phone with him when you started texting him. Everybody, let's give Melinda Leslie a clap, because we love Melinda Leslie around here. Oh, I met April. In Toronto at Alien Con. And then the following week, she actually came, because she's from British Columbia and she was catching that. And the following week, she drove down to Washington State to watch me speak at Forest Moon Paracon. So I met her. Trying to see. What am I doing here? Oh, this has got to be KZAX. I thought I saved that as SOR5. Okay, so that's KZAX5. Sorry, I got confused there. I would love to visit Pennsylvania again. I got a bunch of friends over there, just outside of Pittsburgh. I've never been to the east side, like Philadelphia and that area. I would love to. He said you were texting him, and you guys were texting each other, and he started getting a bunch of texts. I had to go show prep anyways, but he's like, I'll call you back after I'm done talking with Melinda. And I texted him during the show, actually, and I said, hey, I'm assuming you're still talking to Melinda. And has he texted me back yet? Let's see here. Hold on. We'll find out. Nope, he hasn't texted me back yet. He must have fallen asleep for like his 2 hours that he gets a night. "10 days until my birthday." 10 days. How awesome is that? right. The edits are done. I can take you to see Dogman. Yes, Susan. I do want to get to that side of the state. I totally do. And I cannot wait to get down there. I really can't wait to get down there. "10 days until my birthday." Hey, Reverend Keith. How you doing, brother? What are you doing up at 3 a.m. again, Reverend? What are you doing up? Where's 14? There we go. You know you're doing well on one of your terrestrial radio stations when the program director and general manager for the station emails you with a UFO video asking, "What do you think this is? This is so weird." You know you're doing well with them. I officially have no worries with that one station now. That's Saga 960. What is my book about? My book is about my experiences. I am through chapter 6. I'm just taking a little bit of a break right now because I've had a lot happen in the last couple of weeks that have really affected my personal life. What do I want for my birthday? I want my verification code. By the way, tonight's verification code is 876-573. 876-573. 876-573. There we go. That one's off. My next event that I'm scheduled for, I only got one more this year. If it happens, that would be in San Antonio, Texas, for UFO Wonderland put on by William Pullen. So I'm hoping I can get there. That would be, I think, August 28th, 29th. I've never been to that portion of Texas. I've only been to the airport in Houston. Oh my God, I think I just downloaded the wrong file. Cancel. Yes, cancel. What is this file? Let us get rid of this. How do I do this? Okay, we're going to restart this just in case. It's probably best. Oh, the good news is we're going to get a new code. There we go. Upload. I think I almost sent the one to the wrong station. Oops. Oops. Yeah, so if you want to see me speak or come hang out, it'll be San Antonio, Texas, if they open up the Canadian border by then. All right, we're getting a new code here, people. We're getting a new code. 426-764. Our code, once again, is 426-764. If you got that lucky number, please bring it to the timekeeper's bench. So if I don't play my wolf now, Dave is going to haunt me. Yes. What the hell is with your wolf? Why are you not playing your wolf? You can't use this "I just moved in" bullshit anymore, lady. What do I want for my birthday? I like hot sauce. Hot sauce. Yeah. I've got right now... Let's see, there's 5 there, 6 there. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I've got about 15 bottles on the go. They all fluctuate in heat and intensity. Have I thought about putting out books in a series of books, 4 chapters at a time? No, I haven't. But the main reason why I'm writing it this way, hold on, Corey, I'll get that for you in a second. The main reason why I am doing it this way, okay, July, is because I'm even though I'm going to publish it and get everything proper with that, I'm writing it as a biography to my kids as well, an autobiography to my kids. So that way they can, and my future grandkids, which are hopefully a number of years away, and hopefully it can be a little bit of a whacked out tribute to what I do. 17, 24, 31. What are we here? 2. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just filling out my calendar here. 3:30. And that is 15, 22, 29. And then 8. Oh, and that's 14. Damn you. 14, 21, 28, and then 13, 20, 27, and then 5, 12, 19, 26. We're already starting to book for July here. Let's do Varla on the 9th. This will be Chris, William. All right, I think that's it. Hold on, Corey. Sending you a picture here. Did Melinda leave? There you go, buddy. Dave, will you see? I don't think that Alejandro Rojas is going to invite me to the International UFO Congress anytime soon. Not after I called him out last year for naming Jeremy Corbell the Researcher of the Year. No, I'm probably not going to be going there. I will. I'm going to start putting out some resumes for next year. see where they go. You never know. I would like to do the one in Laughlin. I really would. That would be great. I don't want to be an attendee though. Then you got to pay and all that kind of stuff, and then I got to. I'm sorry, I refuse to give Alejandro Rojas a dime. He's a realtor. He's a UFO guy. He's a researcher. He's an event putter on her, but he's not a journalist. Can't respect that. Melinda, you're brilliant. I'm surprised. Everywhere I go, I see Melinda Leslie everywhere speaking. The tickets, Alan, are free. Go to UFO Wonderland on Facebook. All right. Go here, go here, go here. I'll be right back, people. I'm going to make a bathroom break. Give me 2 seconds. right. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I'm here. I had to take my dogs out. Oh, who donated the super chat? I gotta scroll back up. Oh, my beautiful Teresa, I love you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, gorgeous. You're way too kind to me. Way too kind. Good night, Teresa. Teresa, are you going to make it to San Antonio? Who else is making it? I want to see Peanut Butter Rolls make it to San Antonio. All right. The one is done. Sandra, are you going to come? Let's see what else we got. What's Riverwalk action? What am I missing here? Help me out. Help me out. Help me help you. When's the next AMA for Dave? Tomorrow night. Tomorrow night is the Ask Me Anything for Dave night. See what we can add in here. What the hell are all these photos? Weird. Load photo. Where the hell is that file? Oh, the San Antonio Riverwalk. Oh, I think I've heard about that. We'll see about that. Oh, thank you, Human Carl. Thank you, buddy. I bet you he wouldn't even give me media credentials. I'll put my name in there. Bad Carl. Bad Carl. Let's see here. I will be 47. I don't know who else. I know William Pullen is speaking. I think he has a couple other people who are good. I think there's only like 4 or 5 speakers. It's a one-day event. It's on a Saturday. So that's going to be real cool. I may, Melinda, I don't know. Maybe not this year, but maybe next year. Melinda is a blast to hang out with. Just so you know. Melinda is a fucking blast to hang out with. No, I haven't read the New York Times article from today. Is that the new one by Blumenthal and Keene? See if I can pull it up here. I don't see it on their website. Is the article out yet? I'm looking at their website and I can't see it. All right, there in politics. Ralph Blumenthal and Leslie Keene. Hold on, I'm just kind of looking this over right now. Well, these are all juicy new reports from pilots. That's kind of cool. Good night, Susan B. All right, everybody. My downloading is done for tonight. I got to get to bed because I got to be at work in the morning. So I will chat with you guys later, but thank you so much for joining us tonight. Tomorrow night on the show, we have John Edmonds. We're going in Serious Woo tomorrow night. Serious Woo. So give me some time to get some rest. We will have end the week on some Serious Woo, and we're going to have a lot of fun here. So thank you so much for tuning in.